right, welcome back to another episode of What Did I Miss with Dennis Styles. Right now, I'm sitting on the floor right now in my apartment because I'm moving, and yeah, I took my desk out and all the big stuff. So, but the Wi-Fi is still here. That's why I was like, should I record an episode of my new apartment without the Wi-Fi? And that would just kind of make things a little difficult. So I was like, I'll just sit on the floor. So I'm like, sitting on the floor with back against the wall. Yeah, this might be a. I'm trying to keep my mic steady because I do like talk with my hands. So it's I'm trying to keep it steady and keep it leveled. But this might be a buns episode. I'm sorry. Maybe not though. Maybe not. Oh, it might be a little bit more echoey in here though. I didn't think of that. Now that I started talking, my voice is echoing quite a bit. Huh. Hope that doesn't. Yeah. Hope this isn't ass. But hey. I didn't even start the like intro spiel. Sorry if you're new here. Oh, basically. Yeah. If you're new here, probably just turn this off. Already. But I like to cover all the stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, from movies and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to anime, comic books, and anything else I feel like yapping about. Episodes drop. Jeez, I almost had that. Had that. Drop weekly. All right. So this week, oh my gosh. So I didn't know about this convention, but Cinemacon has it been, I don't know, I never really noticed it. Maybe just news came out and I just really didn't pay attention, but they came out, there's a lot of stuff that dropped. So they revealed a lot this week, like a live action TMNT Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin movie, which is that's going to be rated R, so that's very very interesting. A GI Joe X Transformers movie live action, and then also, was this at CinemaCon too? New looks and story details of Captain America 4. What is it called? Brave New World with Sam. I almost said Sam Rogers, Sam Wilson. Plus some more little bits of more announcements, and then we got a couple trailers to get into too. So the Joker 2 trailer dropped, which honestly, I kind of like the vibes, and I'm very very cautious about this movie because it's supposed to be a musical, but we'll get into it. And also a story trailer for Star Wars Outlaws dropped, which is yeah, I mean, hey, it's interesting. I like Star Wars, so hopefully this will be another good Star Wars game. And the main topic for this week is Civil War, a movie that came out about what is it? America having a modern civil war. So we'll get into it, and then maybe a little bit I'll talk about the new Fallout show. I'm really liking it a lot. And I haven't finished it, but I want to get my first impressions and stuff. So, and that's like on brand. It has gaming and it's a good show. So yeah. There will be time codes below though if you want to jump to any part of whatever of the podcast you want to. Yeah. So, what did I miss last week? So, Dev Patel, so Monkey Man. We talked about Monkey Man last week. Fire movie. If you haven't seen Monkey Man yet, what are you doing? Go see Monkey Man. It has John Wick vibes, but it's a lot. It stands on its own too compared to John Wick. And if you like John Wick, like just in general, I would just check it out off the strength of that. But if you don't like John Wick, I feel like there's still a little there's more to like about it. So, still check it out all around. And, if you end up checking it out and you like it, check out the behind the scenes. There's a lot of cool stuff about that and, the making of it and whatnot. I'm just going on a Monkey Man rant. Jeez, I liked it so much. Dev Patel though. I brought his name up because I'm pretty sure I mispronounced it a couple times. I don't know if I was tweaking, if I just wrote it down this way, but I had it as with A, like Dave Patel, but it's with the E, like Dev Patel. And I didn't really, and then also when I was talking about Monkey Man last week, I didn't really highlight the cast, which was really good. And, I try to do that because, and not just talk about like the main actor, because, a movie, I put in just Monkey in a movie from 1978. Oh, it's a show, a drama. It looks like okay, all right, we'll move on from that. Monkey Man cast, not just Monkey. Oh, fuck, I'm probably gonna butcher these names. Sindikar Kerr, he played what's it called? And no spoilers, by the way. He played the cop in the cop in the movie. He was super good. I wish they would have did more with him. He had a little bit of flair to him. I wish they would have hammed that up a little bit more. Not done too crazy, but there were some hints to it. I wish they would have, well, yeah, listen to the Monkey Man review. But and then what's it called? Really, everyone was good in it though. Sobi Hida Duipala. Sita, was she the love interest type? I liked her. Everyone was good. Who else? But the one who played his like mentor, Shardo, not this isn't his mentor, but Charlotte Copley. He played like the ringmaster or whatever. He was super good. I really liked they let him just like, I guess apparently when I was listening to the Weekly Planet, like after I recorded my review and whatnot, but when I was listening to the Weekly Planet, I guess they just let him do whatever and just like just have fun with it, and you could really see that in the performance, it really shone through that. But I think Vipin Sharma Alpha, is this him? It looks like him, but oh wait, hold on, sorry. Yeah, I think he played his mentor when in the second half of the movie, if you've seen it. But yeah, he was super super good. I liked him a lot, and the guy who played the drums as well. Is this him? No, this is his friend, Pitobash Tripati. He was really funny. Who's the drummer? I don't see him, but he was super good. But yeah, I wanted to go back and do that because I usually, do that for every other movie. Let's see. Oh, I was trying to find what I didn't talk about when I was reviewing Invincible season 2. I didn't think about streaming numbers and like how well it did, and I mean, you could just like, I guess, infer just how they're already working on season 3, so I guess it's locked in. But I couldn't really find anything when I was searching around. Hold on. I wish I would have. Honestly should have screenshotted this or something. I found like something, but it was super. It's like on fucking Reddit or something. No, this is from season 1. Never mind. Let's see. Okay, well, it says at the very least, I think this is from IMDb, that it surpassed the viewership of the first season premiere. And I think the first season also had like a pretty big premiere. So I mean, I guess you could just like infer that it has good streaming numbers if they're just already moving along with it so far ahead. We haven't really heard though but the thing is though, we haven't, when season 1 dropped, we already like shortly maybe after the wrap up. I don't remember the timeline, but they already said they're already working on 2 and 3. So it was like really in the bag from really early on. But they really haven't said anything about what season 4. At least I haven't seen anything, or if I have, I forgot about it. But yeah, so yeah, that's all from last week. And then also, I got my PS5 fixed, bro. I don't know if I brought that up. I think I did, but I've been playing Helldivers, and I don't know if I brought it up or not. But I'm fucking loving it, bro. I probably said this last time if I did bring it up. And I'm playing Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus. I'm really trying hard not to skip the like long, like meandering cutscenes. And I know it's like story details, but I'm like torn between just like, I guess I should just replay missions, but I don't know. I just like to, yeah, I guess I should do that. But I just want to get to the combat and just fight and just, yeah. The scenes where you're, not seeing the Spider-Man suit that you are rocking are just kind of, is that saying something about the stories? Is just like my impatience and already experienced it? I don't know, but yeah, I do, because like I liked the story the first time around, but I just want to experience it again, just like solidify my opinion. It's hard to like really say concretely, but it's like, yeah, it's weird. That was a Spider-Man 2 rant. But anyways, the costume that I'm rocking on this playthrough is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. It's just, bro, that's just so fire. I was gonna rock the Raimi Tobey Maguire suit, but I don't know. I just really love the textures and on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. It just has this shine to it. It looks so good, bro. But yeah, I think that's all. But yes, let's get on to the freaking news. How long have I been yapping for? That was a long intro. 10 minutes? Jeez, that was a yap, bro. I'm kind of sorry about that. Not really. But yeah, let's get to the news. So Cinemacon. There was a lot of big announcements, but most of it comes from, at least from what I seen, comes from Paramount. And so Paramount is like came out guns blazing. So I guess we'll start with them, and then we'll get to some other stuff. And some of this might like the other. I know this Paramount stuff is for sure from Cinemacon, but I some of this other stuff might be not from Cinemacon. I know the Joker 2 trailer's not, but yeah. But yeah. Let's get into it. So I'm looking at the list right now. I'm just trying to see how I want to tackle this. Do I want to start with the yapping stuff first, or do I want to knock off these smaller ones? Let's knock off the smaller ones first. So Smile 2. So I didn't see the first Smile movie, but I seen like the ending, bro, and I just seen some crazy shit. And so it's like this horror movie, and basically from my knowledge, like without seeing the movie, I'm pretty sure like a while ago when it came out, I watched those like ending explained videos. There's this one YouTuber that I like a lot that does them, but I don't know if I watched it like this one specifically from him. I guess that was just a unrelated point. But anyways, but yeah, it was explaining like the monster or whatever. So I guess there's like this demon, without spoiling things, that like makes you smile or something. It's like an infectious like thing. So it's like kind of it's the I probably explained it poorly, but it's a really cool premise, and I think it's like from my knowledge portrayed well in the movie, and I think it did pretty well. So like it's well liked, but yeah, the ending is kind of fucking wild, and so that made me seeing that ending made me want to go check it out, and I just never did. But there's a sequel coming, and so when that's coming out, I'll probably rewatch the first one and talk about it on fucking like the on weekly watch list, or whatever, and then when this comes out, review it. But yeah, that got announced. I guess there might have been footage. I'm not sure. A fucking SpongeBob movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. The SpongeBob movie with this is a well liked classic too. With King Neptune and fucking going on the journey with Patrick and shit. That's a fucking banger. So I mean, was there another? There's been a couple not Spider Man, fucking SpongeBob movies since then. So I don't know how there was like was there like a CGI one in the live action mix, or is it just CGI? I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know how those other ones go, but this was just on the list of the tweet that this was on. But there's also though this is more interesting though. I guess as we're going up on this list, it gets more interesting for me because the Last Ronin is last. But yeah, Avatar trilogy. I think this is animated though. Avatar, the not the blue people, but the mystical element, fire, earth, air, water people. Yeah. So is this? And what's interesting about it though, along with a fucking trilogy, which is actually pretty hype. I didn't really register that in my head. That's actually pretty lit. Not gonna lie to you. If it's anything like, because there's a couple, I feel like it's lowball been in limbo though. There's been a couple like announcements of some sequel Avatar stuff. So it's just been taking a while to get done. I don't know if it's just having development issues, if it's in the blender or whatnot, or they're just cooking. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure what the details are on these trilogies, but Batista is a villain playing a villain in them. I don't know if he's like a overarching trilogy villain or if he's just a villain in one of them. But yeah, I mean that's pretty lit overall. I got to find some more story details about that. I mean, I could look it up right now, but I kind of don't want to, not gonna lie. So let's move on. Transformers 1, there was a look at that. So this is a fully animated movie about the origins of Megatron and Optimus Prime. I'm jazzed. I'm not like, I don't know like fucking deep Transformer lore, cuz it goes deep, bro. Not like fucking, yeah. I mean there's more than meets the eye. That was hella corny, but but yeah, I fuck with the Transformers as a whole though. Obviously being mostly is that can't be my introduction to Transformers. I was gonna say the Michael Bay movies, but there was old cartoons and stuff. Yeah, that was def not, but it wasn't as prominent like with the Michael, because it was like a little bit before my time. There were some cartoons though. Was that before Michael Bay? I know it was before, like there's some old cartoons, but there was like some like newer ones. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up. It's funny because I could have looked up some Avatar shit, but I'm looking up some Transformers cartoon stuff. Funny. Sorry, just padding. Transformers. Obviously, like there's this 1984 cartoon. Is it that old? Damn, that's old as shit. Yeah, that old cartoon. But yeah, there's some like I watched a little bit of Prime. I think when was this? When did this come out? Yeah, but there's like a oh wait, hold on. This one looks familiar. Transformers animated. But when was this though? This was let's see, 2000 December 26, 2007, and it ran to until 2009. So the earliest what Michael Bay movie is 2008, right? Transformers. This if you just put in Transformers, you get a lot of shit. Michael Bay, first one. See, if you put in Transformers one now, you get like the new shit, right? Oh no, here it is. 2007. So I mean, I guess it kind of just hit around the same time. But oh, bro, this is like I guess an anecdotal story. Fucking my cousin had this complicated ass Bumblebee transformer. You know, there's like I feel like there's stages to like to Transformers toys. Like there's the one where you know you're a kid, you can maybe a little difficult, but you can figure out for the most part. I had some hot shit, bro. I had who was the he was a dog, bro. Who was the Transformer in Transformers 2? It's like kind of the opening sequence when Optimus Prime fucking murders that big ass Decepticon. But it was the one that was he was a I don't even know what car he is, but he was a slick ass silver car, bro. But he was like he would like use his wheels as like some skates type shit and be he was so cold with it, bro. And he had these little knives and shit. He split the car in half. Oh yeah, he was a dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I had him though, and I he was kind of difficult to transform. But like when you get it though as a kid, it feels so satisfying. Crazy fucking Transformers toy rant right now. But yeah, my cousin had like and those were like, you know, this is gonna sound fucking stupid. I don't know any way to describe it, but toy size, like it's not no bigger than you like. there's no visual to this, but like yay high, you know. But like it's my cousin had like a small dog one, like a turtle, like a medium sized turtle. That's a crazy like comparison, bro. But I can't think of anything else. Like a tortoise, you know, like a medium sized tortoise. I hope that helps. But it was like that big, but it was so hard to like transform. And I tried it a couple times, and it was a lot of shit. But it was like when it was Bumblebee from the 2000, I guess 7. I was gonna say 2008, but 2007 Michael Bay movie. So it was pretty cool though. Crazy Transformers rant. But anyways, Jesus, I was supposed to be talking about Transformers one. Anyways, what I was gonna say though, get back on track. Transformers one. Oh, they showed some foot. I guess because there was nothing shown to the general public. Like there was this cool little title sequence, not title sequence, but logo sequence that they showed. It was like just a logo transforming or whatever. I mean, I guess it was pretty cool. But I guess there's a look. The people who actually went to Cinemacon, they showed some footage, and so people are saying it looks pretty cool. So, oh, also I forgot to mention though, Cinemacon, like, so this is for. Like this isn't not like a comic book movie going event like fans and shit. Like this is for like investors and like distributors and shit like that. Which honestly that's probably why like this isn't. I mean, I was reading some like some quick shit like last night. I guess there it does a lot of news come from this, but I don't know. It seems a lot more prominent, I guess, or since I'm doing this now, like talking about this shit, it's more on my horizon, I guess. And this, I would just probably hear about it from like I guess a secondhand news outlet reporting on this. I don't know. But yeah, it's for like the investors and like distributors and shit, and they meet up and I guess flex their fucking products, I guess, to each other, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, all right. So, they said some good Gladiator 2 footage. I haven't seen the first one or haven't really been interested in seeing the first one, but this one like has some good actors attached to it, and probably the first one does too. It just really hasn't. It's like not my really Dougie type shit, but I'm open to see it now. But yeah, this the second one has some good actors and they attached to it. I think the guy who just got cast for Johnny Storm. What is his name? Like Quinn, Joseph Quinn or something. Let me see. Let me not fuck up his name. Yeah, Joseph Quinn. I think he's in this movie. Let's see. Yep. He's in this movie. I think Denzel Washington's in this fucking movie. Actually, let's actually just look it up. But what is this movie even about, though? What is the first one about? I mean, Paul Mescal. I've probably seen him in him stuff. But yeah, Denzel, Connie Nielsen, Barry Conahan. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So that's decent. Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, like I said. Oh, Digimon Honsu. That's lit. Let's see, Spencer Tree Clark, I don't know these people, but they're probably cool. Peter Mensa, he looks super familiar. Who is he? What is he in? He looks hella familiar. Yeah, I think I think he pops up in a lot of stuff. Let's see. But yeah, what is the first Gladiator about? Let's see real quick. Let's see what I'm getting into when I eventually watch this. Let's see. Oh, this is the shit with Russell Crowe. Bro, it's a big ass ad in the way. Move. I just want some plot details, brother. Where you at? It's like storyline. Here we are. Maximus is a powerful Roman general loved by the people and the aging emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Before his death, the emperor chooses Maximus to be his heir over his own son Commodus. Oh, that's kind of that could get a little sticky. I would be hot as fuck though if I was Commodus. Like I would honestly want to do some fuck shit too, which I feel like this is leading to. And a power struggle leaves Maximus and his family condemned to death. Oh yeah, this is beyond some fuck shit. This is some real hater shit. The powerful general is unable to save his family. Damn, and his loss of will allows him to get captured and put into the gladiator games until he dies. God damn. The only desire that fuels him now is the chance to rise to the top, so that he will be able to look into the eyes of the man who will feel his revenge. Okay, that sounds pretty lit. Not gonna lie. Who's in it though? In the first one, because we got an all-star banger cast in the second one. Russell Crowe, Walking Phoenix. Oh wow, I think I did see that. Okay, yeah, this might be a pretty good. So Connie Nielsen. So there's a lot of there's a lot of returning cast members for the second. So I don't know really any story details about the second. So I wonder actually. Let's see. So are we going on a Gladiator 2 ride though? Are there any plot details? Oh, follows Lucius, the son of Maximus. Okay, well there is some other real spoiler right there, so I'm not gonna say that out loud. But all right, that sucks. I just seen that. Shouldn't have checked out some Gladiator 2 details, but at least you guys got the non spoiler rundown. Let's see though. Let's move on. How long have I been yapping for? 24 minutes. Jeez. I guess there's not a bunch of news really, to be honest, besides this Cinemacon stuff from Paramount. GI Joe Transformers crossover. So they're actually going ahead with this. This is kind of crazy. I didn't think they were. I thought this was gonna be like a wet noodle cliffhanger that they did at the Transformers Rise of the Beast, which I have not seen. I didn't finish it. I started it and I was watching it with my girl. I was trying to just put her onto some Transformers, and maybe because I made her watch Bumblebee and she liked that, and we def watched the old. Yeah, I def showed her the old ones. I think she was vibing with those, and I didn't show her. I think we might have went up to Age of Extinction. I feel like Age of Extinction they're all pretty, they're all. I mean, I was gonna say I want to say mid, bro, but I don't know. I like them. But to each their own, I guess. If that's, I hope I said that saying right. What is that saying mean? To each their own. To each their own. Am I saying that right? I was gonna look that up, but I don't want to go down another rabbit hole. So, what are we talking about? Okay, yeah, Transformers. Whatever. I was going on another point, but I don't even remember what I was saying. Transformers X GI Joe. So at the end of Rise of the Beast, is it Rise of the? I don't know. Whatever. At the end of that movie, they meet some military guys, and they say like, do they say GI Joe? I don't know, but it's either they say that or it's heavily applied. They go to this warehouse, and they take a look at the warehouse, and I guess this is low-key a secondhand recap from the Weekly Planet, because this is the only people I've heard talk about this. I guess it's a warehouse from. it's a standard fucking military warehouse. Like there's no exclusive like GI Joe jets or tanks or like anything that would hint that it's the GI Joe. Or there's not even no like familiar faces. Like you don't see fucking Snake Eyes walking around or like whoever they recast for like Duke or whatever. And some other familiar faces. Those are like we'll get into it a little bit in a second. But and so so it's just like okay, what is this? What is this? Like, what is this tease? What is this cliffhanger? And so it's like people really didn't even think. At least I like hearing it from them explain it. Did not think this was gonna come to fruition, but I guess it did though. So I mean, this is cool. Honestly, if you're just gonna do goofy fun shit, let's see some goofy fun shit. And so I guess my only worry with this, and I'm not super big on GI Joe. Like I'm from that fucking crazy Transformers rant that you heard. I'm probably more into Transformers than into GI Joe, but I fuck with him though. Like for the most part, like Snake Eyes, he's a dog. Storm Shadow, he's a dog. Like I fuck with Cobra, Commander or whatever. I like Channing Tatum as Duke in the old, and those two, or I guess one, the old live action GI Joe movies. And even though those movies aren't that great, I liked them a lot growing up, and I feel like there's still some likable things about it. I haven't watched them in a while though, so I could just be yapping about that. On that last part. Hold on, let me take a swig of water. All right, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So they're cool though, but it's like if we're gonna the only like I hope they just go full GI Joe with it though. Like obviously they're gonna come full Transformers. Like you're gonna see, I don't know where, who I don't know like what's the standing of the Autobots. If this is a sequel to Rise of the Beast, I don't know. Like is I mean, I don't really care about spoiling, so sorry. Like, if is Bumblebee dead? Like, did he come back? Like, where's Optimus Prime? Like, I don't know the standing of the Autobots. Who's around? What Decepticons around? Is fucking Megatron even in that movie? I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't know what it's looking like on that side. But they're who's ever around, they're gonna show their faces. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna bring out the well known Autobots and whatnot. And so I just hope they do that with the GI Joe side. I hope it's not just a bunch of regular military like villains type shit, generic, and just you say they're GI Joe members and whatnot. I hope we see some recognizable faces like fucking Snake Eyes and Duke and fucking who's ever. And I hope it's like bro. They could just do some real like. I mean, it is goofy in nature of the idea. It's fucking big ass robots and a bunch of stylized military guys, fucking a ninja and some fucking whatnot, and coming together. But it could really be fun, and it could be honestly like a good narrative though. If you have some fucking like Decepticons team up with the what are they called? Just like I'm no, Cobra Commander. Like what are they called? What's the organization called? It's fucking the snakes. I don't know. Cobra Commander. Cobra, not Cobra Kai. Commander. What is his army called? Army. Red Shadows. Why did I never know that, honestly? So they're called the Red Shadows? What the hell? What the hell? All right. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, if they team up with like, him and his Cobra Commander and the Decepticons, cook up some evil, conniving, scheming plan, like that could be really fun. And like, go head up with the GI Joes and the Transformers. And bro, I'm like imagining some crazy shit in my head. Like, they're riding in fucking their vehicle modes with the GI Joes inside and some just shooting guns and shit. That could be some dumb fun. And if they do it right, at the very least, it could be some dumb fun if they do it right, a solid narrative along with it. So I'm down to clown with this. Whatever story details and whatever developments come out of this, we'll be on board with that. At least on here for the time being. Hope it doesn't turn out ass. The Running Man from Edgar Wright. I'm not really sure what this is, but I guess he's a pretty good director from what I hear. I haven't like purposely checked out all of his stuff, like deliberately any of his stuff. Probably would have seen some stuff, but a lot of people like him. So, new Star Trek movie. I gotta get into Star Trek. I was watching probably like early on with the reboot with Chris Pine, I don't know if it's a reboot or whatever, but I like them. I just gotta give them like a more of a chance. Uh, yeah, I just like the grittiness of it, and it seems like good sci-fi. Like I just like good sci-fi, to be honest. I've said that before, so yeah, got to give that a chance. And then the last thing, I guess, on the Paramount side though, is the biggest, an R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin movie. So this is a adapt. I think I just all right. This is an adaptation from a comic that came out in let's look it up. It came out, and basically it's in a kind of a near future New York, and there's only one Ninja Turtle left. His brothers are dead. Splinter's dead. Um, and he's basically going around and he's rocking all their weapons, and he's putting on for his team, bro. He's trying to get the ultimate get back. I think I gotta read that comic. No lie. There was a sequel that just came out recently, and I haven't really heard a lot of things about it. And I've heard some Twitter chatter. So that's very subjective. But I heard it's like this was very briefly, just not really looking into it. Someone was like, they should have just stopped at the last Ronin, and it's just what's it called? When you expand upon it, the stuff they're kind of a mystery, kind of spoils the fun of it a little bit. That's what I've heard. So I don't know how true that is. Gotta check out the whole thing. But what was I looking up? The Last Ronin though, by Kevin Eastman, Peter Lard, and Tom Waltz. Yeah, this came out in 2020. And so yeah, I know who the last. So I know who the last. It's kind of a mystery, I think, starting out in the comic. This is what I know for from what I know, who the last turtle is. Like, is it Raphael? Is it Mikey? Is it Donatello? Is it Leo? And I know who it is, so I mean I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, this is, and I don't. The Ninja Turtles, from this is kind of newer to me, started out pretty gritty. Like it wasn't all fucking pizza dude. It might have been a little bit of that, like pizza dude and fucking hanging out in the lair and shit. Like it was pretty gritty. Like people were like getting their faces burned, and the Ninja Turtles comics are pretty gritty overall. Like there's some gore in it. Like they get busy in it. Not gonna lie, and I gotta check them out too. So there's honestly, like, I just realized that, like, there's some good Power Ranger comics. There's some good Ninja Turtles comics. There's some good fucking Transformers comics. Like there's some good Star Wars comics. Like there's a lot of fucking good comics to read, bro. I just gotta tap into it. Just reading at a fucking slow ass pace. There's a lot going on. No cap. But yeah, yeah. So they started out pretty, like kind of gritty, and so this is like a complete. I wonder. This is a very interesting choice because this is gonna be a live action movie, and it's gonna need to have pretty good CGI if you're doing a live action Ninja Turtle. And with rated R movies, they typically have lower budgets, and you could make some shake, and it's been shown with I would say the most recent example and a more popular example is Godzilla minus one. And so if you have a solid plan and from what I've heard from, like, CGI and VFX artists and stuff, and CGI artists, it's a lot easier when you have a clear vision and a like steady plan all the way through, so you know what you're working on from maybe, like, more or less from beginning to end, and you can polish that same vision throughout the whole process. You're not switching it up and have to start all over or start on this new thing. Like, you can, so it's very possible to be done. You just have to know how to manage that. And I think that's what's really fun about let me get his name. But the person who did Godzilla minus one directed it. He wrote it, and actually let me get confirmation on that, because he for sure directed it, and he was the head of the VFX as well. And the movie was only made for like 10 to 15 million. Takashi Yamazaki. Yeah, so he did write and he directed it, and I'm pretty sure he was the head of the VFX, and so he basically managed that really well. And the CGI and stuff in Godzilla minus one is fucking great. Yeah, it's not like it's not 100% perfect, I don't think, but it's pretty close. And for that budget, I mean, it's easy, like a hand wave, like whatever. Like it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But it's definitely possible. They just need to go out this the right way. I think the story, like, without knowing a ton about it is gonna be very very interesting, especially seeing it in live action and whatnot. I really hope they commit, and if they're going rated R, they're gonna want to show some stuff, and so I hope it's also not like they're just showing stuff just for the hell of it. Like it has some, you know, I think something like in this is something like Invincible is really good with their gore. I think they don't show a lot of gore, and there's probably other instances where some instances where they do, but I feel like they're not very prevalent. Like it's not a lot, but I feel like the gore in Invincible is shown for a reason. Like it's shown like, oh fuck, like shit is, oh, we're in trouble. And that's when the Invincible uses gore really well. So I just don't like want it to be just senseless. And I don't necessarily have a problem with it being just like senseless or whatever, but I just feel like when it's handled in the right way, it's just way, way more impactful. And so, but yeah, I'm pretty out of all this list. I think I'm most excited for the Last Ronin and GI Joe Transformers, and not even like, oh damn, like these are gonna be fucking good. I mean, at the very least, I just want to check out and see what it's gonna be. Like what? But I just think I don't remember what I was gonna say. Just I had a train of thought and I lost it. They say your ABCs to get your train of thought back, but I'm not gonna do that. If it's important, it'll come back. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on though. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. So Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So it's been renewed for season 2, which is really great. So let's see. I'm trying to think where the last season left off probably around what era. It's definitely they're not up, so they could go. They have some space to go. So if you don't know what Monarch Legacy of Monsters is, it's basically kind of the human side of, and this, hold on, rock with me a bit, because I know the human element is not the best in the Godzilla MonsterVerse movies, but the human side of like the destruction and the fallout of the people dealing with that and whatnot. And Monarch is they monitor they try to prevent and shit, but they kind of just have to monitor the monster movements and whatnot. And before they were very under wraps, and now they're kind of more out in the open, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it has some seek. It's a pretty good show. You should check out. You should definitely check it out if you're into the Godzilla stuff and whatnot, if you haven't already. But if you do check it out, check out the early. I feel like the first couple, at least the first Godzilla movie, the MonsterVerse, the 2014 one, and then check out. They're all a decent watch. I was gonna say solid, but pretty. They're all right. They're all right for, yeah. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. What I was saying, but yeah, it was a more, especially what it's turned into. I think especially with the reaction that people have had with Godzilla minus one and the MonsterVerse, and it's like, you're not gonna get a Godzilla minus one as often as you're not gonna get a Godzilla minus one like once a year. I feel like something a Godzilla minus one is gonna come out every like 2-3 years or whatever. I feel like it should be. I feel like they shouldn't, like, yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but I feel like they shouldn't oversaturate like that serious narrative. I feel like you let it time to let it have time to breathe and whatnot. Let it sit. And oh fuck, Godzilla minus one isn't even on fucking digital, bro. That sucks ass. I haven't really been fiending for a rewatch, but it wouldn't hurt. But even for people who didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, it's like, bro, that kind of it. I don't know. It could have decent streaming numbers, which would, I feel like, help the movie. I mean, it's not like movie sales these back then or whatnot that really like gave movies a second life. I feel like that would have I'm talking like I'm fucking crazy old, but it's like that's what it was though. Movies had a chance to become, and it's probably some instances on streaming and stuff, but movies had a really chance to become like and get a second life and like get a theatrical sequel though. Like if you have I guess it's the same a little bit, but I feel like maybe a mute point. But yeah, that's what was going on though. It would be it's a good contrast with the people, how they like this, fucking Godzilla X. I was trying to think of the movie title, Godzilla X Kong New Empire, and just how goofy it is and stuff compared to Godzilla. Like, it's both getting received well, and the fans at least seem to be liking the contrast. And so, with like I was saying, you're not gonna get a Godzilla -1 every year, so would it be good to have with the second season of Monarch to further counterbalance that the goofiness of the MonsterVerse. I feel like it would be a good side. And honestly, you could really use the movies, in my opinion, and maybe this won't work with if you actually put it on paper and like whatever. But just a thought, like you could really have just just what I've seen, especially. But if you haven't heard it, you go check out the Godzilla X Kong review. But I would take a whole movie just with monster stuff. I feel like Kong was super engaging and convincing, and I feel like he could carry a whole movie. Obviously, probably not by himself strictly, but if there's other elements and whatnot, I feel like that's interesting enough, and that would be pretty fucking expensive though. All CGI movie, so that's probably why they don't do it. But I was gonna say though, you could do that. It just if there was enough money and time and whatever the case to do that, and just have the human element just be to the show stuff. And I feel like that just carries a lot more, because you're not gonna do crazy fucking kaiju shit in a show. And they used it sparingly in Monarch Legacy the first season. I think they used it well, but so it's just like, I don't know. There's an avenue here if you finagle it, but I just hope that with the goofy stuff that we've seen in uh and is it gonna follow the same people though? I feel like it would be cool to, but then you would just have to find ways to keep tying it into Monarch and whatnot and do this other shit. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with season 2. But then also along with that though, other shows though are getting developed in the MonsterVerse. So not just Monarch Legacy season 2. So there's Monarch Legacy is very broad, because they could go like some Kong Skull Island stuff. And so it's like, what is these other shows gonna do? Are they gonna do more human stuff? Are they gonna do more monster stuff? Like that's gonna be like gonna have to be an expensive show. So it's depending what these announcements are, like my excitement can go up or down. But also though, this is with Apple TV, and so they have a lot of money. Apple has a lot of money to throw at these shows and take a loss with them. So I feel like, and again, going on a crazy streaming's just circling back to cable rant. I feel like it's all gonna end up though, you're just gonna have a couple premium, and it was literally like this before. Like you had HBO, you had Stars, you had more or less AMC, but you're just gonna have like premium networks that do this. Like you're not gonna have like your just what I'm trying to say is it's gonna have to be under companies who have a lot of cash to like loot, or just a lot of money to take risk with. Like Apple, they're not solely in the business of movies and fucking shows and stuff. Like they make electronics. That's where the bulk of their money stuff. I feel like this Apple TV shit, and it just it's some fucking a side venture, some side quest shit. So it's like they have a lot of money to throw at that. Disney could possibly. It's Disney. I don't know how, but they're into toys and shit, so it's like they make a lot of money through that. They have Disneyland and stuff. I've been hearing like some Disneyland not being profitable, but I don't know. I don't fucking keep up with that shit, but so maybe Disney as well, but Sony and shit, and like Amazon. So it's like you're gonna like Amazon's doing their Dougie. It's like they're more than just Amazon like movies and shows. So it's like you're gonna have these premium. Anyways, fucking yeah. What are these shows? So basically what I'm saying is, if it is a CGI seemingly CGI heavy show, I feel like that is not like an indicator to be worried type shit. So it's because it's Apple. But yeah, that's that on that. Some not quick stuff. The next piece of news though, some Marvel stuff. Kevin Feige confirms Thunderbolts asterisks. So like with the little star character next to it is the official title. We won't talk about the asterisks until release. So I first heard this about like I seen this like on my TL. I just thought like what the fuck. And then the Weekly Planet talked about this, and I was just like, what? Like I was just so confused because I just thought it was like some like a placeholder shit. But like this is actually some like that's why I didn't like include it into my shit. Like this is actually some fucking like there's a story reason for this. So this is I guess interesting. Like I don't even know what this alludes to. I just threw this in there because it was like what the hell. And Thunderbolts though I feel like it itself, the concept of this, the MCU side concept, I feel like it's more interesting in the comics. I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking about the right team, it's more interesting in the comics. This MCU iteration doesn't seem like really that interesting on paper and like the members and stuff. But I feel like the people involved in the writers and the cinematographer, I think he has a good cinematographer. But it's and the cast as well. I feel like it's fun. So I don't know. I feel like the Thunderbolts is coming up to be a sleeper hit. Not gonna lie, I could be fucking dead wrong about that. So we'll revisit, reconvene. What episode is this? 27. All right, I'll try to remember that. I was gonna write it in my phone, but honestly, I don't. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. But yeah, so that's interesting. So it's gonna be a story reason why this title change, huh? Yeah. Well, I don't really have much insight on what the fuck they could be doing with that, but first, look at Captain America: Brave New World. I think there was another image along with this. So this was just an image of Harrison Ford as General Ross, which is a recast of. I think he died. Did he die? Yeah, I think he died of the old General Ross. So yeah, there's a recast on him. He has no mustache though. I kind of don't like that. I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but it's General Ross's mustache is pretty iconic. But yeah, Sam Wilson's just standing in front of him. They're seemingly in a government building. Might be the White House, not sure. But Sam Wilson is in his full Captain America gear when in his new suit. More closer to Captain America's suit. More blue. I think that is blue. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't think it would be fucking like black, but it's like a navy darker blue. Um, I fucked it with his old suit, so I don't know what his helmet's gonna be looking like in this. Is it gonna? He has no helmet on, so I don't know if it's gonna be like the goggles, like little mask thing, or I don't know what it's gonna be. So, um, but along, I think there's another picture too of him just holding the shield in like more civilian clothes from memory. I'm not sure though. But there's some like story details that were kind of concerning, no lie. But I actually like hearing this and like kind of like thinking about it. This could work, but it's so. A lot of people seem to like the footage from what they saw in CinemaCon. So I mean, there's that. I mean, that doesn't necessarily isn't a necessarily an indicator of anything. Fuck, my like ass hurts from whoa pause. From sitting on the floor though. So yeah. But they acknowledge, I guess, that Ross it's a recast that Harrison Ford stepping in. Uh they say some dialogue stuff, but I'll leave that for you to see in the movie, I guess. But Ross wants to rebuild an Avengers team, and Sam and his new sidekick what is his name? Walken? I don't know. But he was basically he was a character in he was like I don't know, like a cadet or whatever in when Falcon the Winter Soldier show. And I think he's the new Falcon in the comics and in this now. So and he's Phoenix. His name's Phoenix or something. His hero name, Walking Phoenix. Wait, what? Um, but I guess they went on a successful mission, and the president is proud. Who's the president in this? Is it Ross? No, Ross is not the president. I don't know who the president is, but I guess the president is proud, and I guess Isaiah Bradley is there. So Isaiah Bradley, he's they tried to recreate this not Winter Soldier, but super serum that Captain America has after he went in the ice. I'm pretty sure. Was it during? I'm not sure. I want to say it's after, but I'm not 100% on that. And so they wanted to do that, and they experimented a bunch of people and really fucking stripped them of their rights and tortured them and did some more shit. So he's a victim of that, and he was a really good part in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really liked him in that, and so it was kind of asking him. He's like, so he Isaiah Bradley ends up possessed in a Winter Soldier brainwash style. So like Bucky, when you say like trigger words to him, he'll like, not anymore. He got this. He got rehabilitated in Wakanda, right? But I guess it's like that, and he starts tossing a table at Sam and at people and shooting at world leaders. I guess he tries to kill the president and even jumping out a window to flee. They say the action's gritty and it looks quite fantastic. So I was kind of like, I was like, it's ass that they're making Isaiah Bradley act like this, but one, it would make sense if they. This could be. We don't know why he's doing this, but there's a couple reasons. So the leaders in this, and I don't know the leader's power set, but I didn't know it could. From what I saw, the leader, I didn't know it was on some brain mind control shit. Well, these are fucking AI overviews. Is that what this thing is on Google? Like it gives you like a quick summary real quick. But yeah, I don't want to read that from the AI. Is it? I don't know. Mind control. The leader can control the minds of people who have not been irradiated by gamma rays. That's the AI shit, but I don't fucking fully trust that. So I guess I think he can control minds. So this could be some shit like that. But I was gonna say that it kind of I wouldn't put it past the U.S. government to put a trigger in their experiments. That they for the super soldier serum. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to do that. So it could be on that type of tip, which I wouldn't be too mad at. Like I get it, but it's just like, damn, can Isaiah catch a break? Like he was so broken and shit in Winter Soldier, so it's just like, fuck, stop fucking with my nigga, man. Just let him rest. But if it's, I feel like it's a cooler angle, and it would, I feel like, I guess, remedy my ill lookings on this if it was from the leader and stuff. So I mean, I guess we'll see how it plays out. I'm not too jazzed about it, but we'll see how it plays out though. I'm not gonna strictly just call it ass right out. But all right, the last piece of movie show shit is the trailer for the Joker, which releases October 4th. So mute. Whoo, yes, got it. So this comes out. Yeah, I just said October 4th. So this trailer, I was fucking with the vibes. There's been heavy, rumors and shit that it's gonna be a musical and whatnot, and I was super skeptical about hearing that at first. And then as some other stuff came out, I was like, okay, they said it's gonna be like, like a eerie rendition and stuff, not like strictly a musical. So there's like some elements that I might like better than just a typical musical, but it's just more Joker shit, bro. Just seeing him in this universe and this, I like to see him like if he's gonna, like I feel like when he has this, seemingly when he has this mask and suit, not mask, but when he has the makeup and suit on, he's a different beast, low ball. Like he feels like a more confident in shit with his stance and his swagger, like his that's what I'm got from this trailer. And we really only got to see that at the end of this movie. So I want to see if this Joker, because he really started off he starts off as a wet noodle. Like you don't see him as the clown prince of crime, the prince of crime and Gotham type shit, the man who laughs. I don't know. Is that another alias, another nickname for him? I don't know. But you don't. He doesn't give off like strictly, like it's not, to me at least. It's not like a crazy bad take. Like I like the take on it. I feel like it's pretty interesting, but it's like he doesn't give off the crime lord vibes, or someone that's just gonna do some deliberately crazy nut shit, So it's gonna be interesting just to see if he does just like dissolve or descend into that. I said dissolve? Descend into that, just that madness, And if Harley further like pushes them into that with him, or he drags her along with him down into that. So it's gonna be interesting. Or if it just keeps going this like, so I would like to see him go, get his tough up, get turn into that guy, in a sense. Like great, like fully step into that Joker role and leave Arthur. What is his name? Arthur. I was gonna say Arthur Curry, and isn't that Aquaman? But Arthur, what is his name? Something. But leave that alias behind. Just fully embrace the Joker, bro. And I want to see like him like lose his humanity and whatnot, and turn into a crazy like bastard. So, but like I was gonna say though, if they just continue going on with this like kind of adaptation, and he doesn't necessarily turn into that, and he's more like of a inspiration figure. I guess this seemed like what they were going for in the last movie, like a lot of people idolizing him, and he just is the cause of anarchy that way. And it's not, necessarily fucking shooting a henchman in the head for no reason or planning a crazy bank heist or something. But if he's more of like a inspiration to like, inspire that type of thinking, and I'm fine with that. And it seems like that's what they're going for, but I'm just along for the ride for this at the very least. Like if even if what I exactly said doesn't happen like either of those ways, but just to see what they do. But it does seem like there's some musical elements in this, but it's going to be interesting to see because they did it with the first movie to see what's real and what's in his head, I like what they did with that in the first movie as well. I feel like it added a lot to that. And then so is the musical stuff all in their head? Like is he gonna it hold on. Yeah, so him and Harley are dancing in this yeah. They're dancing, he's in his suit and she's in a white dress, but he's in his suit and makeup, and they're doing like the same movements, and it cuts to them outside. Seemingly a lot of commotion around, like they're surrounded by it seems like they're in a parking lot. But there's like a ambulances come driving past them and shit. So it's like the clown prince type shit, like him and his makeup and shit gonna be in his head, and like they're gonna be doing stuff like a musical number type shit, and seemingly dancing around and maybe like fake shooting or something, and then like it's gonna cut to them actually shooting some shit and doing some crazy shit in real life. I mean, if it's that way, that I'm down for that. Like, oh, I didn't really say. I mean, I guess you can infer. I don't really fuck with musicals at all. Keep it a buck with you. Um, but yeah, there's like a big Joker Harley sign. Like, that just gotta be in his head though, right? Unless the city's just on his nuts, something crazy. Um, I mean, he seems to still be getting praised. Like again, this could be. It's like I don't know what's fucking real, but I feel like this is real. Like he's being transported in a car in like a police vehicle, police van, and a lot of people are like praising him and shit in the crowd, with masks and signs and whatnot. He seems to be beating a man with a stool. Don't know if that's in his head. Hotel Arkham sign, so that's got to be in his head. So, and then I feel like low key, and I saw this on Twitter, and I should rewatch the first movie, but I keep forgetting that like when he laughs, like in most cases, like he doesn't want to laugh. Like it's involuntary. Uh, so he has like a condition. So I feel like that's. I mean, it's like if you remember that, but at least for me, it's important to remember. They'll probably bring it up again though in the movie. But yeah, I mean, I just like the vibes of the trailer, more Joker, and I really like the first movie. The score of the first movie, bro, is probably my favorite part of it. Just like the score and just like accompanied, the visuals really, they just mix so well, bro. I really love the score in that fucking movie and the performance. The story. I guess a lot of people say, or a thought that I've been seeing is, if you've seen The Taxi Driver or whatnot, it kind of takes away from a lot of the movie. And I gotta check out The Taxi Driver, and I'll probably maybe change my tune on the movie a little bit. But I mean, I would still like it regardless. Like I said, like beyond story details, I like my favorite part of the movie is the score. Like I fucking said, so it's other stuff that goes into it, even if it's like, plot wise, kind of a carbon copy of The Taxi Driver or whatever. And not to say like, there's still something to say about that, but I don't think that will really affect my rating much. Especially since I seen the Joker first. It's kind of my fault, whatever. But yeah, moving on though to the gaming. We're at an hour, So we'll get through this, and honestly, we'll have a solid episode. I'm not really um worried about time. But so there's a story trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, and that's this game releases August 30th. It's a Ubisoft open semi open world. I would wait. Why did I say open world? Yeah, it's probably open world game. And so basically, the story is this. Let me go to the article actually. Give a better summary because I was about to start just remembering from fucking details in my noggin. That would have been shoddy. Shoddy. Don't know why I said that like that. All right, see. This is from Massive Entertainment, the studio behind The Division, which I like a lot. I don't think it's perfect, but I mean I liked it for the most part. I like the gunplay mechanics, and I like the environment in the world and stuff. I feel like, it's a live service like shooter game, so take that information what you will. But there's just some fun elements with it, and also they made last year's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I seen RDC play this game on stream, and they had a sponsored stream, and they were I guess having fun with it, I guess, but it got to this part where they were playing as a bug, like a fly mosquito thing flying around, and they're just like, all right, chat, we'll play this whole off stream. Code word for they're not playing that shit. So, they thank to Ubisoft for sponsoring them and whatnot, and they turned that whole off and got to some other shit. But yeah, so I guess that's kind of a mixed bag. What else have they done? I guess these are what they put in the article, so maybe this is the most notable things. I don't really feel like looking anyway, to be honest. But this game takes place between Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and a Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And so, yeah, so this is kind of like at the height of the Empire, like they're full fledged. But also, the rebellion's building up and fighting back and whatnot. But this is kind of like full power Empire right here, I would say. But basically, this story puts you in the shoes of Kay Vess. I'm reading this from Game Informer. They have this along with the story trailer. There's a lot of not story details, but there's this person who wrote this article played a demo, so there's a lot of game, not a lot, but some gameplay stuff to get into as well. So fuck Jesus, I don't know. We'll get into it. Jeez. But anyways, it puts you in the shoes of Kay Vess, a common pickpocket turned thief who gets in over her head and becomes a player in the thriving underworld during this dark period in the Star Wars timeline. Let's see. Star Wars Outlaws features several planets and moons for players to explore, including iconic and well-known locales like Tatooine, Kimjimi, Akavia. But my hands-on demo takes place entirely on Toshara, a new moon created by Massive Entertainment in collaboration with Lucasfilms Games. So we'll get into more of the article, but yeah, that's the rundown of Star Wars Outlaws. It looks pretty interesting. Like I said, I fuck with Star Wars, so anything in the Star Wars universe, I'll check out for the most part if it seems interesting. And this is Star Wars games are so fun, and I think that's why I love Helldivers so much, because it's some good fucking sci-fi, bro. At the end of the day, I just love some good fucking sci-fi, bro. So, and you putting that in the game, that's my fucking jam, dude. Dudette. But basically the story details, and she's just, what do they really show? They just really show there's this new faction. There's the Hutts, there's the Pikes, there's a couple others. There's the story trailer, it's whatever, go check it out. Let's see, hold on. Basically, she just takes on a job for this new faction, but I guess the meat and potatoes of this all is this article. So I guess we'll just jump in right into that. I thought I was gonna have some more to say about the trailer, but kind of just washed over me. Not gonna lie, not in a bad way, but it's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that point, but yeah. I guess so this game, it's introducing. Not introducing, this is probably another shit, but a reputation system. And so this article talks about this landing on this new moon Tarsha. They say like the empire's presence is immediately felt, so like the empire has their claws in everything. And so uh you're playing they played on this planet called, not planet, she's going to the capital of the planet, Morgana, and I guess it's like a multi-leveled city. And so there's going to be a couple different not biomes, but worlds to play on, like I mentioned before. But there's going to be different vibes to it. Like there's going to be like more sprawling, like open world stuff, but there's also going to be dense environments. And then also they said though, with this dense like multi-level environment, they wanted to focus on, they said what we wanted to do is to have something that is very dense in activities rather than something super expansive where you get lost and there's not much to do. It's very, very focused on providing a dense, busy city experience. So that's gonna be cool. So even if we do get like those more open world biomes and whatnot, and there's not even, I wouldn't want this, like, of course, but there's gonna be this type of stuff in it, and we'll all see how it plays out and stuff. But there's multiple syndicates, right? And so you have this reputation with all of them. So there's the Pike Syndicate. Let me see. There's the Crimson Dawn that honestly I think in this time, this also ties into the movie Solo. The person who's in charge of the Crimson Dawn, it was the lady who played Daenerys in Game of Thrones. What's her real name? But her solo character comes back in the movie Solo, comes back in this game, and she's the head of that. So she's voice. She might be voiced by her. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but it's her face model, so I assume so. Um, but she's back in the. But I was gonna say, I think Darth Maul though is the head of the Crimson Dawn, because he got into some criminal underworld shit. So maybe we'll see an appearance from Darth Maul. But it's the Pikes, it's the Crimson Dawn, it's the Huts, and I think it's those three. And the fourth one is the new one introduced in this game by the developers and partner with Lucas Film. So um basically you have this reputation with them, and he goes in the article and he says like uh your reputation in standing with them kind of deals how you interact with them. So if there's a mission where you have a high reputation and you have to go get something from the Crimson Dawn or something, and like sneak into a base, if you have a high reputation, you could just walk in and maybe even trade with their vendors and whatnot, and get it that way. Or like you get to go up to a certain point in their hideout, and then you have to go sneak and not just like start from like the very, they treat you as an op on site. And so it makes it a little bit easier that way. But then he also goes on to say with them, so he goes in, he accepts a job from a faction. You can read the article to get exactly which one, but I feel like it doesn't really matter in this sense. I'm just explaining how the reputation system works, or from what little he got to play from it. But you go in. He got this job from a faction. He had to go in into he got this job from a faction to go in and steal it from like the Pikes or whatever. And he goes in, he doesn't have a good reputation with them, so he has to go in like full stealth. And basically he tries to he doesn't get caught at first, and then he does get caught, and that tanks his reputation with them even more. And if he were to steal the piece without getting caught, he would have, it wouldn't have affected his reputation at all. And basically the reputation system, from what I've seen, like if it's high, they could, even the faction, whatever it's, they can help you in battle. They can come help you with skirmishes with another faction. They can even help you with skirmishes with the empire. So it seems like there seems to be like something expansive going on. I feel like that's roping me in at the very least, beyond this being just Star Wars and whatnot. So we'll see how expansive that is though. We'll see. So he also says he goes on another mission where he steals this piece, and so he has and he has to steal this file, right, from the Pikes. No, fuck, what did he say? Actually, let me see. Yes. Oh, so the factions are Jabba the Hutt, leader of the Hutt cartel. He's like the most recognizable, I think, from most people. Lady Kiora. So that's Emily. Oh, that's her name, Emily Clark's. That was her. That's her solo character. She's fucking with this Crimson Dawn. Queen Ashaga of Ashaga clan. So that's the new syndicate, and then you have the Pike Syndicate. And so So the ranging from is the reputation is from terrible to excellent. Good reputation means you walk freely in the hideouts, offer you special stock or discounts at shops in their territories. If you get in a hairy situation with another syndicate or even the empire, let's see. In my introduction, the system starts with a mission of stealing from the Pike Syndicate. Let's see. There seems to be she has a grappling hook too, so there's some traversal elements to get like around the map. So there's a alarm system seemingly that you could take out in the hideout, but then also he goes on to say that even if he did, because he triggered the alarm system, but even he said even if he did take out the alarm system, it makes no difference because he said I accidentally walked past the sight line of a security camera, so you can get caught on film in this. So it's like whoa, like how I'm gonna need to see some fucking gameplay footage, bro. Like how deep does this go? It seems like very expansive. Um, Okay. So he's fighting in the Pike's place for this he's fighting in the Pike's place stronghold for this file that he's supposed to send from him from a random person in a fucking bar that she was in. Let's see. So he gets the file, but they know it was him. So the leader of I think the Pikes Syndicate is Gorok, and so the file that she was stealing from the Pikes was footage of Gorok's underling to plot against him. So now I think so even with them seeing that they seen you fucking break into their base, you can still go to them and sell the information. He says Case still consider going to their leader. That's because there's somewhat of an understanding in the criminal underworld that these relationships aren't about making friends, they're about mutual benefit. And I was gonna say, like, this stuff sounds good and well and nice, but it's like you do hear these type of things and then it's like, it doesn't really fully realize in the game itself. And so yeah, I feel like this stuff is still, it remains to be seen. So I would keep that in mind when I'm talking about this stuff because yeah, yeah, just throwing that out there. So after like the player is like pretty set to give Gorok the file, of the syndicate, showing that he had a fucking nigga plot in his organization. Maybe that will help your standing with them. Well, probably will. So it turns out the anonymous person who gave her the quest was a member of the Crimson Dawn. And so getting the file was a test to see if the syndicate could rely on K for more important jobs. So now with her foot in the door, Kay thinks fast, wondering if she should give the extra file regarding the Pike Syndicate coup to Crimson Dawn instead. At this moment, the player has a choice. Do you provide it to the Pike Syndicate as initially planned, or your new associates in the Crimson Dawn? So it's like her standing with the Pike Syndicate's already poor, so you can remedy that. But if this was like a test from the Crimson Dawn, it's just like, damn, why not keep fucking with them? So it's like that's what he ends up doing. I don't know for that reason, but yeah. So that was like a look at the reputation system. So even though they did that and do try to build that alliance with the Crimson Dawn, they get another mission to have to break into one of their bases for like this upgrade for something, her blaster or some shit. And so now that she has a better standing with the Crimson Dawn, she can go into the base a little bit further than she were before. But then she has to switch to stealth to further get to this part that she needs to get. So but to not damage the reputation, you got to get in and out without a trace. And so they end up doing that, and so it doesn't damage the reputation after that. And so then also they do get to do a little free roaming, and you have a little speeder in this that you just call to you on command with just a press of a button. They don't say which one, but they say it handles well and it's fast. So all remains to be seen. But yeah, this game, I'm pretty excited for it. There's so it's by Ubisoft, and so there's a season pass with this, along with some stuff like some DLC missions included. But that shit is a whopping $169.99. So a plus tax, so that's coming out to like $175, no cap. And that comes with Star Wars Outlaws, the game season pass, Sabak Shark bundle, Rogue Infiltrator bundle, digital art book, and 3 days early access with pre-order. So yeah, that's a lot. So we'll see how the gameplay's looking. If it's looking right to me, I might cop this day one, maybe not. I This is what happens, bro. I just get burned by a game and it just makes me reluctant to cop on day one. Just like with Suicide Squad, that was my burn, bro. I was like, yeah, we'll see, brother. But yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So I guess the last like gaming thing before we get into Civil War is there's a Fallout show, brother. So I'll just give my quick first thoughts on this. I haven't finished the show. I'm like on the end of episode 3, so it's still super early on. There's like 8 episodes, but they're like an hour, a little over an hour long, some of them. So it's a lot of content, but yeah, I'm really liking it a lot. If you don't know what Fallout is, it's like this post-apocalyptic setting, from the world having a nuclear war, and so yeah, they got nuked to shit, and so it's not looking good on the surface. But basically, there's these vaults that, okay, so up top, I guess not up top, but I'm not like super, oh my god, I'm the biggest fan of Fallout, but I fuck with it tough though, because I've said this before, but I did play Fallout New Vegas when I was like younger. It just like kind of really getting the hang of, when did Fallout New Vegas come out? Basically, I was kind of I was out of my depth with New Vegas, because it's quite a bit of like a 2010. So yeah, I was around 10, so I was pretty decent at games, but I wasn't like, especially RPGs. So like, that was like one of the first RPGs I played. So I really didn't understand it a whole lot. So like, I liked what it was about, but it's just a little. I kept getting stuck. Like, I would just try to go to like this part that was blocked by a death claw, and I just didn't have enough. Like, a fucking. I just didn't know where to go most of the time, bro, and like find new quests and stuff. So I just lost his shit, and just getting dunked on, bro. But yeah, so I put it down, but I like what it was about, and so when like Fallout 4 came out, I was like, okay, I'm like much fucking better at video games now. So I checked that out, and I feel like a lot of people like Fallout 4 mechanically and stuff, but I don't think they're too jazzed on the story. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I liked it for the most part. It's just a fun universe and whatnot. But anyways, fuck. So the story of Fallout, there's these vaults though that like, I don't know. That's why I was that got on that tangent. I'm not sure if it's like rich people or who gets selected to be in the vaults, or if it's just like important people. But there's like some regular ass people in there, so maybe it's just like rich people. I'm not sure, but it's deep underground, and it protects them from the nuclear war, and they hide out there for a pretty long time. In the show, and like Fallout 4 and stuff, it's been like 200 like plus years, and so in the show it's like 219 years or something like that, and so they just been kind of just living there for like generations down there, fucking repopulating and stuff down there. And so when you actually like, when they get to the surface, and like you get to the surface and whatnot, it's like a fucked up, like there's a fucking mutants walking around, like fucking green Hulk mutants and stuff. There's ghouls, like zombies and shit. There's fucking irradiated bears and fucking crab monstrosities walking around. It's a lawless wasteland, and there's a lot of murder, a lot of death, and no one really bats an eye. There's like different factions fighting for power and whatnot. And it's like, or at least Fallout like 4, and I feel like maybe most of the narratives, like you're kind of like, are you a vault dweller every time? You have to be, right? I feel like that would make the most sense. You probably like, you're coming in like with this shit already going on. You kind of just like pick a side. There's like just different factions vying for power and fighting for power and murdering for power and doing what they want to do for power. But yeah, so that's the same situation here. So actually though, like getting into the actual show, like fucking damn, that was a long ass breakdown. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. I feel like Low Ball, I didn't even like really think about this before. Maybe I thought it crossed my mind, but Fallout is the perfect game to make a show and adapt. Like the world itself is just so goofy. You have so many different outlandish interactions, and then the stories, you can make a solid narrative out of the story. Like there's some depth to it. and just different factions fighting for power, and what that looks like, the power struggle and the laws of the fucking wasteland and whatnot. But then, like, there's a lot of like interesting creatures and interactions and weapons and sci-fi shit. It's just like a great source material to adapt, and they really tap into like the goofiness of the Fallout world, and just the gore, this show's super violent and gritty. That's what I like a lot about it too. And also I really like the sets and the practical like suits and stuff. I think they really did a good job in with how they look and the way they filmed it. And I like the shots in this. And I think the writing's pretty good too. It's pretty clever. And there's probably some stuff here and there that I didn't catch and stuff. But and then also I should throw this out there. I was like, watching this at least the third episode while I was like editing and stuff. And so I don't know. I don't know if I'll review this, but I'll definitely talk about it. I'll probably talk about it more. Yeah, I'll probably carve out some time, especially it's right up the alley of like the whole fucking theme of this show. It's like in gaming shows mixed in one. So yeah, I'll probably carve out some time in the show to talk about it more extensively when I finish it. But I just like, especially hold on, actually, let me go to my weekly watch list, 'cause I think I have some quick notes. Damn, no, I don't. Cap. But I really like Walton Goggins in it though. He plays like this ghoul, but he's really good in it. I really like the whole cast, to be honest. They all have bring their own. Like Walton Goggins just is like this badass like bounty hunter cowboy type. Like the main characters is this naive type of character, new to just being sheltered from the fall in the vault and whatnot, and then you fucking come to this wasteland world and just this lawlessness, and you just don't come from that. And she has a very funny naivety to her about that. She sells that really well, and she really steps up and shit. And I really like how this incorporates like the gameplay not necessarily mechanics, but like the gameplay stuff. Like at the start, she basically says what she spent her attribute points on, and like the skills she leveled up and shit. And so that's fun. And but I think I did hear that this kind of, and speaking of Fallout New Vegas, so that's made by like Obsidian, and that was like a subsidiary of Bethesda, and they kind of, I think they broke off from them and started their own shit, and they made Outer Wilds, which was pretty. I like that game. It's pretty short, but I think that is what's fun about it, because it's one of those games where your decisions matter, and you could literally fucking game each. Most choices are fucking dictate the path of the game and stuff. And so with it being short, you could replay, and there's a lot of different paths to take and stuff. The only thing I really didn't like about it, I didn't really like the gunplay and stuff, and I think that's what kind of killed it for me. Like I did do one playthrough, and that's what killed it for me with doing more. And I did like see the, because I was like, I finished it and I was like, whoa, this game was kind of short. And I was like, I should like, because I was like, oh damn, I should go replay and do a different choice. But it's like, the gameplay really wasn't there for me, so I just didn't bother to do it. So but anyways, geez, they did Fallout New Vegas, and since they broke off, I think Bethesda and like, who is it, Todd Howard or something, they kind of like ignore Fallout New Vegas lore. And the thing with Fallout New Vegas, it's like, I think among fans is likely the most. I mean, that's kind of just me just looking outside in on the Fallout community and stuff like that. So that could be wrong, but from what I see, I think it's what fans like the most, and I think they like Fallout 3 a lot too. I gotta go replay all of them, and not just play Fallout 4 and whatever comes next and stuff. I didn't check out 76, but it didn't start off too well, but I think it, from what I hear, it kind of brought itself back a little bit. But anyways, yeah, I gotta check those out. But they kind of, so in this, I think from what I've been reading, retcon some New Vegas stuff that kind of makes New Vegas not happen, or at least not make sense anymore. And that could just be them like trying to get away from New Vegas stuff, which the hardcore fans are not seemingly liking. And so, I get it from that perspective, but just for me personally, it's like I'm not too tied to the lore, so it's like that doesn't really affect me as a watcher. But I can see how that's very very annoying and upsetting. And I even think like there's like no reason for them to do it either. I think they have like it's not like a rights thing or anything. They're just like and I think that's what kind of just from what I just been reading over time, that's what kind of like rubs them in the wrong way. Like the best like quote unquote Fallout game is something that they didn't make necessarily like Bethesda. Like it was from one of their subsidiaries, and so I think that's kind of like rubbing some salt in. I think because Bethesda gets criticized a lot with their game formula and whatnot, and their and like the especially with like Starfield and whatnot. It's like very like wooden and stuff. And I hope that they upgrade it and whatnot. But if you like the formula, I think like there's some charm to it and whatnot. And I like it for the most part. But I do get the criticisms and stuff. Like it's if Skyrim 6 and that's like what I'm excited for. Like I didn't have an Xbox, so I couldn't check out Starfield anyway. But it might come to PS. With all the Xbox shit, it's like shit going down. It might come to PS5 and stuff. So and I'm not like too pressed that like if it does like some like Hi-Fi Rush coming over like I'm like I like speaking of that shit I gotta check that out. But I just been super deep into Helldivers because I'm trying to make a video for it and I gotta level up my character for that for a portion of the video. But yeah, so I just been super deep in Helldivers, but I do gotta check out Hi-Fi Rush. But anyways, yeah, I'm not too jazzed to check out or too pressed to check out Starfield. But basically what I was saying, if Elder Scrolls 6 or Skyrim or whatever 2 is like the same kind of like gameplay mechanics but just leveled up a bit, I'm not too fussed about that. But yeah, what was I talking about though? Jeez, I was kind of crazy. Yaps. Oh, I'm talking about Fallout. Yeah, it's a really fun show. So it's on Amazon Prime. And all the episodes dropped at once, and that's probably kind of a lot of people are not really jazzed about that because I feel like there is the weekly discussion about shows was definitely fun. And I was a all at once dropper, show dropper enthusiast. Like I want that shit all in my face now. Crazy fucking sentence, but yeah, but I think that's just when I had more time, to just binge stuff because that's what I wanted 100%. Like I hated when they kind of. I think Netflix started that, and I was younger, fucking was in school, didn't have fucking other shit to do and whatnot. So I definitely prefer more of a weekly show now, definitely, because it makes it more manageable to watch, and especially with like reviewing stuff too. Like I don't have to fucking sit and like if I was like pressed about reviewing the show, sit and watch it fucking in 2-3 sittings, try to get it, watch at least by by the first week or the second week type shit. So yeah. I'm just gonna take my time with it. I'll finish it when I finish it, and I'll talk about it when I talk about it. Yeah, I think that's all though. Oh, I did say I like the set. I definitely like the set designs and I like the costumes and stuff. But I feel like sometimes I'm like this Ahsoka had this problem that I noticed. And I didn't really like it at that. But the clothes feel purposely dirty sometimes, and it's hard to explain. But like I don't know, it like kind of looks like it's like a clean dirty type of look. It's really hard to explain, but it's like purposely dirty. And stuff like other stuff like looks roughed up more organically, and it looks like it actually was. It wasn't like purposely torn and purposely like scuffed up and shit. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, it just if I didn't mention it, it just feels like fucking Fallout, bro. That's a like good thing about it because it just literally makes me want to go download Fallout 4 and just go check out the older games and just play some Fallout, get into some goofy dialogue scenarios and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's it for the gaming stuff. I don't really have any comic news except in my weekly watch list. But yeah, so let's move on to the main topic. Civil War review. Civil War. So yeah, this is let me get some water before I start this. Yeah, so Civil War is a movie directed by Alex Garland. I think it's A24. Well, they distributed it. They were the distributors. When I went to the movies for this though, there was a lot of A24 like distributed films, and that was I mean that's like. it's cool to see them become like a, I guess, a household name and whatnot. I mean, it's like I wasn't there from like fucking an enthusiast from the beginning and whatnot, but it's just cool to see the transition and stuff. I don't know if I mean, they're just distributors, so there's just a lot of different, I feel like, tones and whatnot in their movies, in the movies that they pick and whatnot. So I think that that's it's just a it's a fun time seeing their logo pop up. I guess in most cases. It was I guess, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call this movie a fun time, but it was a good project nonetheless. But anyways, so this movie is basically America having another civil war. The boys at it again, I guess. So but this follows, so I'm trying to think about what, I'm trying to remember what is like broken up. So it's the United, like it's like the Western forces. It's Texas and like California teaming up, and then it's like the United States with the rest of, the rest of the states fighting against them. Um, I was trying to look into some reasons why they teamed up, but it's low key. This movie's not about that, which I thought it was gonna be about that more. And it's basically a group of journalists. They just specifically a war journalist, Chris, played by Kristen Dunst. Her character is like her Lee something, but she Kristen Dunst from various things, at least most notable from me and probably a lot of other nerds, Spider-Man Sam Raimi franchise, Mary Jane. But she's really good in this. Actually, let's keep on with the synopsis real quick. But a group of journalists just going around, it's basically a road trip, and they're trying to make it to DC for various reasons that we'll get into. And no spoilers, by the way, no spoilers. I'll get into spoilers later after the rating, but no spoilers for right now. But it's basically a road trip across this war torn America, at it, and we get to see them capture various horrific moments that we'll be getting into. I guess, like I said, this movie wasn't like a fun time, but it was definitely an enjoyable watch. I guess, if I can put it like that. Hold on, let's see. And this is like, okay, so, and then also I had to like read a good read. I guess I'll get to that in the end. The budget though, the budget I put so the budget for this is 50 million. I put 50 billion. Jesus Christ. That's gonna be the what they're gonna what standard movie marketing rules. They're gonna need to double that, so 100 billion. So you're gonna need a little bit over 100 billion to break even. But no, it's a million. And the box office though for the weekend, I don't know if this domestically, it was kind of, didn't really find any. Actually, let me look today. But it was around 24 to 26 million for the weekend, which is a pretty good start. So it's gonna need 100 million to break even. I think it's gonna have pretty good word of mouth though. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not what I thought it was gonna be. Hold on. What am I looking for? What is this movie called? Civil War box office. Mm, 4 hours ago. Civil War sets A24 record with 25 million debut. Okay, so I guess it's pretty good. Ruben director Alex Garland's proactive dystopian thriller Civil War lit up the box office with 25.7 million in its debut. It's the first A24 movie to lead the charts in North America, setting a opening weekend record for the New York-based specialty studio. Uh, it also marks the biggest R-rated start of the year. Heading the week, Deadpool's probably gonna blow that out of the fucking water. Heading into the weekend, Civil War was projected to kick off with 15 to 20 million. Those ticket sales would have been enough to overtake 2018's Hereditary, another A24, what, whatever, which opened in fourth place to 13.6 million. So it seems to be doing pretty well. Let's see. We'll know for sure by next week, and to see how well it holds up and whatnot, to see if it's on track to break even and stuff. But I think that was only for North America though, so that wasn't a worldwide. So it could actually be doing a bit better than that. But I don't know if this was like a with A24. I think they just started going wider, but they had very limited releases. That's probably been not the case for a minute, but I don't know what the worldwide's looking like on this, but it could be more. So that's pretty cool. I think this movie deserves it. Definitely deserves it for sure, for sure. Let's see, let's see. Let's go to my notes. So I was taking notes on Google Docs on my phone, but then my shit just stopped having service. So hold on, I have a bit of notes on my computer, and I have a majority of them on my phone. So give me one second. Where's my Civil War? Oh, here we are. All right. Um. Oh yeah, this I really like the start of this movie. So again, no spoilers until after the rating. I really like the start of this movie. There's this like real it plays with like the left right audio. I don't know if you probably definitely experienced this before in some type of media, but how in music sometimes they only play like music through the left ear of your earbud or the right speaker or the left speaker, whatever the case, and it creates this ping pong effect a little bit depending how they use it and whatnot. But there was like something like that at the start of this movie, which was really, really interesting start, which I liked a lot. Let's see. Like I said, it's set in like New York. It has a very so with this movie, I think just like jumping like ahead real quick, again, no spoilers. This movie started off too good for its own. It started off too like what I'm gonna say, too interesting for its own good. I feel like it really had some really tense situations, some tense moments, and it kind of like teetered out by the end for me. Maybe it won't be like that on a rewatch, but I just think like the earlier part of this movie was just so interesting. It kind of like by the time we got to the end and what it was dealing with, it just didn't hit as hard, in my opinion. But I feel like, ooh, let me make sure that does not unplug. I'm trying to like my ass, my butt is fucking hurting from sitting on this floor for how long we've been going? How long I've been going for? An hour and 44 minutes. Just oh my gosh. So I'm trying to get comfy, bro. No cap. Oh, there's pillows and covers right there, so to put something on the floor. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, it kind of just like teeters out by the end. I feel like the ending kind of just washed over me a little bit. And there's definitely some hard hitting moments, but I especially liked with this movie though. I think that's kind of all the last note I have in my docs before I get to the notes on my phone where all of them are is Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is fucking president. So wait, not Ron Perlman. You fucking idiot. Who's Ron Perlman? Hold on. Is that from like The Weatherman or something? I was gonna say it meant Ron Swanson from Parks and Recs. Why did I put Ron Perlman in my fucking notes? Oh, it's a it's an actor. No, it's the nigga who plays. It's the guy who plays Deadpool or not Deadpool, Hellboy. Oh, why did I say Ron Perlman in my notes? I meant Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson is fucking president. I wish they did a little bit more with him in this movie. He's not in it very much. I feel like that's kind of low key a missed opportunity. Even like he's kind of like he has this he's a serious and fucking for the most part in Parks and Recs, but he's a really good actor. And I feel like they kind of missed a moment with him, so I guess that's also a negative. But yeah, I mean this movie's not perfect, but I liked it for the most part. I think again, like I said, it starts off really strong, but so this movie's about like I said, journalists capturing a war journalist with her a team a shoddy team that forms together. It's her, and then she's with someone he's played by Pablo Escobar in the Narcos show. I talked about a couple times on this before, but he's a really good actor. I mean, I really like that show, and I really like him in that role. Let me see. Let's go to Civil War cast. Actually, we'll just highlight that real quick. I'm typing. Wagner Mora as Joel. So yeah, he plays like Kristen Dunst, she's Lee Smith. She's like the war. So she was overseas taking pictures and documenting the war and whatnot, seeing some crazy horrific things. And she's like a veteran in this shit. So she's really run down by it and desensitized by a lot of it. And I think before I get into the rest of the cast members, it's like this movie like highlights it too. It's like, is it like ethical what they're doing though? Like they're just going around and like she at one point takes a picture of someone that's on like that is literally being set on fire like right in front of her. Like she's not doing anything about it. And it's like of course if she were to do anything like she's gonna come to there's gonna be some conflict in like stopping it. She's like her main thing is just like she's documenting it and like what did she say? Her justification is like she gets footage and she just gets the footage and lets the other people ask the questions, you know. And so it's just like, is that like ethical? And it's like there's some interesting questions that come up in this and some interesting moments that, you know, play with that. And I think they really handled that well. But yeah, that's Kristen Dunst, and then Wagner Moura. This is I'm just like going over the people on her like little cast crew, her team. Wagner Moura, he plays Joel, and he's like this adrenaline junkie reporter, and you know, I don't know if he has like the same ideals as Lee Smith, as like, you know, trying to be um in it to capture, is he, or if he's just in it to like, you know, capture the like she's like she has a line in this movie, again, this is like barely any spoilers. She has a line in this movie that's just like, you know, she was sending pictures from the war overseas back home to, you know, as a warning to not let it get like this, not have a war on fucking American soil, not have a war like with each other, you know, in these residential spaces and whatnot and everything, you know? And so he's more of like an adrenaline junkie. Like he's trying to just, no, I guess he does have a sort of angle where he is trying to, cause his whole thing is they're trying to get to DC and they're trying to interview the president. His deal. They're trying to get to the front lines and just like see all this go down and, you know, see, because the president is basically holed up in DC and the Western forces, Cali and Texas are, you know, the United States is are losing. And again, this is like this is not really spoilers because it's a very minuscule part of the movie. This part's more, the movie more is about like the individual rogue, like people fighting. What is it exactly called? Because okay, the article I was reading that like really it was a good breaking this down and like goes into some more stuff. It is Politico.com, and it's the new Civil War movie is eerily right about how the country could split apart. It's by Joanna Wise. It's a really good read, but it like really breaks down like this movie is about like the individual like guerrilla. Let's see. What are this exact terminology? Like those individual called guerrillas, and they were like independent actors scattered and loosely organized. Basically they would be like groups of like militia, you know, it could be like a couple people, a handful of people, individuals and whatnot, that weren't like, if a civil war were to happen, this would happen in the actual Civil War, where you have like I'm sorry, bro. Let me put it up top, bro. I am not a history person at all, so I could sound very dumb during this like breakdown and shit. But who was fighting in the fucking old Civil Wars? As obviously the South and what, just the North? I don't know, fucking what? Yeah, but you know, those two factions or whatever are at it. But then there's these people who don't fully agree with like one or the other side, and I don't know if one side was more prone to having them or whatnot, but you know, that didn't fully agree, but they weren't enlisted in the army, and they would go, and this is like, you know, wars on American soil, so it's like these are quote unquote like kind of lawless times in a way, you know. You know, not fully lawless, but they would act on their own accord, not be in the army, and they would look down on the army and look down on their they would look down on like their mechanical teamwork, and like they didn't have like flair, super by the formula, and just okay, it says here most were white Confederate sympathizers who didn't want to join the official army, either because they saw it as an emasculating experience with humiliating disciplinary tactics, or because they thought they could fight better and bolder on their own. In contrast to a robotic, regimented I think that was the word, army, where soldiers fired huge volleys in unison under a central command, the guerrillas used smaller pistols and hit and run tactics to attack Union Army. What was it with the Union versus the South? Union Army detachments and civilian Union sympathizers. They also created a kind of culture and myth around themselves, often wearing distinct embroidered shirts and priding themselves in their expert skills as horsemen. So, like I said, this was like movie is more or less about like the country or the split itself and these more individual encounters. And so this movie, like basically, so I'll get to more than spoilers, but they just have these multiple encounters of these situations with these different gorillas, as they put it, and these seeing how uh really what I really liked about this movie is how integrated, like, or how society was not like per se, but you know what I mean. But it's how society handled the Civil War in this movie. Like, it was just so integrated in their shit. Like, they're at a hotel at one point, and like the hotel staff is like, we have frequent power outages because, like, a couple, like, literally some at least a mile out or so, like, there's gunfire, there's bombs being dropped, like, they're literally fighting. And so it's like society's still going on, like, there's people riding their bikes like they do in, like, busy cities, and there's also fucking army trucks patrolling and whatnot. So it's a very they're just going with it. And so I feel like that was very interesting with this movie. Like, there's a couple stuff, like, with the currency, and like how the war affected, like, America's currency and stuff. And so, there's a little part about that. And so there's just a bunch of interesting interactions. And that's what I was saying before, is like, I feel like these earlier interactions in this movie kind of just trumps what's at the end of this movie a little bit for me. And so it just like teeters out. Let's see. And so, like, this article says, like, there's it's hard to escape the obvious similarities with some other fucking organizations, like the Proud Boys and stuff and whatnot, in America today. But let's go to my notes. Oh yeah, back to the cast though. I was breaking down the cast and, like, saying who is what. And so do you have what I stepped on Wagner Mora as Joel, the adrenaline junkie. So he's trying to interview the president and whatnot. And then Stephen McKinley, he was in Dune recently. Actually, he wasn't in Dune 2, which people were kind of sad about. But he plays Sammy. He's this older reporter who tags along with them. He's like kind of a, not really a rival, but like he's not like really with them. But they fuck with him type shit. Like on some like reporter solidarity. So she tags along with them, and then why does it just say actor? So Kaylee Spaney, oh, Jessie. For some reason, for her name, it just said actor, or actress. So yeah, she says, so this is like a younger character, that a noob in the war capturing, like, photography, shit that they're doing and whatnot. And so she tags along with them forcefully. And it's a shoddy group of band, just band together, and they just, like, journey across country and get into these interactions, like I was said. But I don't know if this is like kind of like a childish way to, like, make this comparison, bro. But, like, seeing some of the images in this, and like the fighting on, like, fucking that one point, like, they're fighting in front of a Sprint store and stuff. And so it's like funny seeing the, like, and it reminds me of this MW2, where you're fucking, having that one mission at the, like, the literally like a plaza, like there's a burger joint, like a fast food spot, and there's like some shopping stores and shit. And, like, I just remember that whole mission. I forget what it's called, but you're also, like, going through, like, the before you get to that part of the mission, you go through, like, the town and whatnot, and like a residential area. And it just reminded me of, like, literally, I don't know what was the conflict in MW2, but, like, while they were fighting on American soil. But yeah, it would just remind me of that, which was, I don't know if that's a childish comparison, but bro, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But also, like, along with, like, seeing these, like, messed up interactions and stuff they get into, like, they do some really interesting things with, like, the click of the camera, like the noise, like, as they're capturing. There's, like, a lot of, like, quiet moments, and, like, you just hear the camera click, just capturing horrific, like, graphic stuff. And so it's like, they do some interesting things with that I really enjoyed. Even, like, really towards the end, I think that was kind of really, like, during that whole moment, just, like, stuff going on, just, like, it's like a brief, like, a action moment would be happening, and there'll just be a camera click, and just, like, a brief, like, silence of, like, capturing the camera, and, like, more action would happen. That was a really, like, a good artistic choice, I guess. Like I said, Nick Offerman's in this, the guy from Parks and Rec. I really wish they would have used him more. There could have been more stuff, and I feel like that could have. Well, we'll get to it in spoilers, but I feel like using him more could have saved the movie a little bit more towards the end. Jesse Plemons, he's in this, so it's kind of a weird thing to say. So he has a moment in the trailer that's really good, and it's like I would say, like, what, 10-15 seconds, I guess, and it's just cut up really well. compared to like what is it's so interesting in the trailer. And it's like, the moment's gonna be, if you see like a trailer moment, it could be a little bit longer than what it is. It could be fucking as short as that. But the way it's cut up, like you can tell like there's some missing parts. And so, but it really drags out for quite a bit. And I really like that whole thing with Jesse Plemons and his character. It was like he just had like, I'm not gonna, spoil the situation, but he just had, the journalist group at gunpoint and was kind of like interrogating them in a way, and just like each movement he made was just, you just thought he was gonna do some crazy shit, and so it's just like a really on edge moment and really tense moment. Let's see, is there any other stuff I gotta get into before like spoilers to like really dive into like these individual encounters? um Oh, the sound design again. This, or with the camera clicks and stuff. That's, I think it has some really impactful. Like it cuts through. It just like when you hear that camera click, it really cuts through everything, and I think it really has good sound design. And then also with the gunfire, though, as they're going through these scenarios and whatnot, and the gunfire is going off mixed with the camera clicks. The gunfire, bro, it's loud as shit. Like it's really impactful. You really feel like you're in the field with them boys type shit. So it's just like, I really like that about it. Really decent sound design. Trying to make sure these fucking cords don't unplug with this shoddy setup. Me sitting on the floor. But I really think that's. Hold on. Yeah, pretty crazy carnage. Well, there's kind of a little bit of jump scares in this. Not gonna lie to you, wasn't really expected in that. And it just like kind of captures the horrors of what what would the horrors of, like I said, these guerrillas fighters and what they would do without rules, and they're kind of just like proud of what they were doing and whatnot. So it's a really interesting like look into that, and not really what I was expecting. I was expecting more like war zone stuff, which I really like this angle with it. I'll get to more in spoilers why that kind of turns in badly for me. Yeah, like I said, it's like these actors, like you get the military forces that are in their fatigues and stuff, and then like you get these like guerrilla fighters and shit, and they're just like in Hawaiian shirts and like civilian clothing with like fucking tactical vests on and stuff, and it's just like it's interesting to see that contrast. Let's see, and then like they just have like funky music just over just some like crazy shit, and it's just so, I don't know how to really explain it, like desensitizing, I don't know. It kind of like this gaming, like I said, like MW2 vibes, a little bit like Red Dawn vibes. I haven't seen the original. I think he tried to show me the original, but I had the remake on DVD. I don't know how people felt about that. I wasn't really tapped in with reviews then. I was pretty young, but um, yeah, this like gave me like Red Dawn vibes, some MW2 vibes. All in all, I like really liked it. I think it just, like I said, didn't really. I think it like kind of fell flat a little bit for me at the end, but I guess we'll just get into the rating real quick, because I think that's all I really have for spoiler free. I'm at like a 7.58 on this. I would say I'm more in the 7.5 range, but a rewatch could get it to 8 if I ever rewatch this. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna settle on a 7.5. I wish it really just use Ron I was gonna say Ron Perlman some more, Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman some more. And I feel like the ending just kind of teetered out for me. But I would definitely still recommend this though in the movies for sure, because there's just really good sound design. I feel like movies with really good sound design, like unless you have like a pretty sweet sound setup, which a lot of people probably don't have. And then, like, even if you do, you can't fucking play it hella, depending where you live. Like, if you live in apartments, you obviously can't play it, like, hella loud and whatnot, or you can't just say fuck it. But, yeah, it's pretty good sound system, or sound design, so it's worth seeing in the movies through that. And I feel like it has a lot of fun artistic choices as well, with the camera stuff. And I feel like it starts off very strong. I'll get to why it falls flat in the later parts for me in spoilers, but yeah, I'm at like a 7.5 on it. I mean, really thinking about it, I feel like this can easily go to an 8 on a rewatch, but it definitely needs a rewatch in my opinion for me to jump to an 8. But I mean, 7.5 is not bad. I was thinking about like my like rating stuff today. Like my rating honestly really doesn't mean shit, bro. Like if you like what I hear for the most part, and like the negatives I say aren't fucking make or break for you, you should definitely go whether you go to the movies or you catch it on streaming, definitely go or fucking sell the 7 Cs for it. Definitely go form your own opinion. And then also, bro, a five. I feel like a five is mid, bro. A five is average, and so it's like if you're a six, bro, you're above average. If you're a seven, bro, you're 2 steps above average. If you're a 7 point, like it's a 7.5 isn't bad at all, and not even acting like to assume anyone thought it was like a 7.5 at all. But I feel like with ratings and stuff, it's easy to. Well, it's like it's kind of a little bit different for each person, I guess. But like I feel like the lowest I can go without having fun with the movie is like 3. I feel like I can enjoy a below average movie, a 4, and still find some enjoyment out of it, type shit, you know. But yeah, that was a rant about my rating. At the end of the day, go form your own opinion. Yeah, but I would say like this is worth checking out in theaters though, because the sound design for sure. Um, Spoilers though, yeah, spoilers. Let's see. Yeah. So Kristen Dunst, Lee Smith, she dies at the end of this movie, which, I guess. Oh, I guess that's I didn't say in non spoilers. It's kind of like predictable. Like either she was gonna die or the little girl was gonna die when she joined the team. Like she acted like she didn't care about her, but you knew she was about to make like a sacrifice play or a situation, where she puts her life on the line for the girl or who one of the people you saw it coming from a mile away. But okay, so why this movie like fell a little flat towards the end for me though, is I feel like the situation they were encountering were super super interesting, and it's like when you get to when you get to and you like I said, you had the people in the fatigues and you had the people in like the more Hawaiian gear, and then you get to people in fatigues at one point of the movie, and it's like you don't even know what side they're on. So it's like their whole plan is to get to DC before like all the shit hits the fan and the president like loses or whatever, to like or take pictures of the front line. The guy wants to interview the president before all that happens. But I feel like all the other stuff before was way more interesting than that. Like you get the interaction with Jesse fucking Plemons and like that eerie fucking situation where he's shooting fucking the foreigners because they're or not even foreigners, like, or I guess he was born in Hong Kong, but just because he wasn't from America, and he's like, oh, you guys are from this part of America, da da da. And like I said, you get the one guys with the snipers, and that one you couldn't tell what side they were on. You get the one fucking the office building or whatever building they were in. Like, oh, you get the gas station interaction where this guy is like talking about where he's charging fucking he's charging 300 American USD for an apple or a sandwich or some shit. And then she was trying to get some gas from him, and he wasn't. He said, you have a fueling permit just to get some gas. So it's just like, I was like, that was not no real shit. He just put on some fucking crazy tax, or it's like, his own tax. And like, you get these individuals, acting out in this way type shit. And so she's like, no, I have 300 Canadian. And his eyes, like, he like perks up a little bit. And so it's like, damn, seeing the American currency fall, guys, they're fucking at war and shit, and like a Canadian USD is so much more. And so he was like, yep, that'll do. So they fuel up with that shit, but it's like, sheesh, 300 for a sandwich is crazy, bro. That's gonna be scary when it happens to American currency. Anyways, what was I saying though? But yeah, by the time you got to the end though, it's just like a big like war situation, and then like storming the what's it called, the White House or whatever building, the Capitol building, White House, I'm not sure. But it kind of, what really saves it for me is like the camera shit, when like the clicks and whatnot, like breaks up the action, because it's just kind of just military stuff, and like that's fine in like pocket situations. Like I said, there's like an office building like situation where like someone's bleeding out, and the girl takes one of her first pictures or whatever, and like Lee says it's good. Where that was interesting, but it's just like that was like a full like 15 minutes of just straight like gunfire and whatnot. And I feel like this movie would have been a lot better if it was just stuck with and it kind of did do this, but if it just stuck and they didn't go to the White House, they just stuck with the cross-country field trip idea, and they used Nick Offerman, like whether they seen him on the news, and like we got it cut to him like an actual making the announcement of him just like slowly losing like the war over time, and this is like a over a longer period of time than it was in this. Like this is it spanned like a couple days just to get from what's it called, New York to DC, which isn't but like if it was like more of a cross country thing type shit. It just took place over a longer time, and we saw the fall, and like you just focused on these um individual encounters, and like each like encounter is like uh the war getting worse and the president losing, and each encounter is like crazy and crazier, like as shit's getting worse and worse. um but I don't know. That's just me spitballing. I feel like that's a way that you could use Nick Offerman more, which he's like a really good actor. He's really funny. And it's interesting that he's like playing the president and whatnot, and then you get what I feel like it's the best part of this movie in those crazy encounters. That's just my idea, and like why it kind of teetered out towards the end for me, kind of just like washed over. But when Kristen Dunst does die, and she has like the conversation with the girl at one point, she's like, you take a picture, like all this stuff, all this shit is happening and whatnot. It's like what they're just having like an ethical I don't like remember it verbatim, but an ethical conversation about what they do and whatnot. And so the girl ends up asking the little, nah, she's like fucking 23. I keep calling her a little girl. She looks super young. I'm not gonna lie, when I think I missed, maybe I was like taking notes, jotting some quick notes down, but I missed when they said her age. And so I thought she was like way younger than she was, and like fucking, it felt like, what's it called? I think even say it at one point, but the videographer guy character that once did an interview with the president, he's like hitting on her kind of throughout the shit, or like giving some hitting on vibes. And I thought she was way younger, and I was like, why is no one saying anything about this? And I like asked my girlfriend, I was like, how old is she? How old is she? And she's like 23, or said like 23 or some shit. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I was like, still kind of weird, but because he's just like a vet, and he's like, I don't know. It kind of came off kind of, maybe because I was like saw it through that lens for most of the shit. But she just looks hella young. But she's like ends up asking Kristen Dunst, she's like, if I died, would you take a picture of me like dying? She's like, what do you think? I'm like, duh, nigga. And then my old head Sammy, bro. The guy that was in Dune and shit. He's a really good actor. I like whenever he pops up and shit. He's really I like him a lot. But at one point he gets fucking shot in this, and bleeds out to death. But I was like, fuck, bro, my old head is hit, bro. My old head is hit, bro. But yeah, he dies on one point, and like she does take a picture of him dying, and like she ends up deleting it. And I thought that was a cool moment playing with that. And so it's like, damn, she's not as desensitized as we thought. She still has a little. I mean, you get that she does have a heart, trying to be protective of the girl and whatnot. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of like soundless moments where it's just like characters expressing tense emotion, just sound like with no sound and shit. I feel like those parts were pretty well acted and fun as they can be in a way. Let's see. Yeah, with did I mention with the gas stuff? He was like torturing. So some guys like try to like loot their gas station or something, and they strung them up, and they're like, how gas stations have like car washers like attached to them or whatever, or on the side. They were like strung up in their car wash and hanging and like bleeding out, kind of. They were like being beaten and tortured. And he's just like, they're looking at the bodies, and the people, the gas station owners, quote unquote owners. I don't even, did they own it before? Or did they just fucking take that shit? They say, yeah, they try to. I knew this guy from high school. He's like, please, bro, I have kids. He's like, yeah, we didn't talk much, but he probably wished we would have talked more. And it's just like crazy to see. It's like he's like proud of his work, and he at one point like they asked like, oh, can we take the pictures of you guys by them? They're like posing next to him and shit. It's just like, and that's like the thing with America, bro. A lot of gun owners are kind of itching, and I might actually, that's a crazy overgeneralization, but I mean it's not too crazy to infer. But a lot of gun owners they want to use their weapons, bro. It's just like, bro, I got my shit just for strictly defense, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be on offense at all, bro. But people are itching ways for to use them. So it's like, when you get a situation like this, if there was, I mean, shit, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If this were to happen in America, bro, you would definitely get people like this, bro. Definitely get people who are taking pride in. I mean, it's like, yes, defend your shit, but it's just like, who are taking pride in breaking like war law, or like, well, fucking what? There's like war crimes and shit with standard rules of engagement, and them just not following them and whatnot, and doing other shit like that. And so you'll definitely get this type of shit. And so it's just crazy to see. It's just like they don't give a fuck, bro. They're just looking for a way to crash out, or looking for opportunity to justify their sickness. Let's see. Yeah, Jesse Plemons is like, he had a really desensitized, like, vacant look to him and act about him, and he just like did not. He was just wanted to, like, should I? Damn, he was just trying to look for the reason to kill them. Like, that's what he was doing. He's looking for a reason to kill them. Like, he was gonna kill him regardless. He was just looking for a reason to do it. And so he just, yeah, that whole moment was super tense. Yeah, I mean, I think that's honestly pretty much it, to be honest. Anyways, yeah, like, all in all, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. I didn't have a bad time with it or anything. But we just been going for a little bit, so yeah, that's pretty much it for Civil War. Go check it out. I'll get to what we're gonna watch next week, because I thought we had a break, but we fucking do not. But yeah, let's move on to the weekly watch list so we can wrap this thing on up and get my fucking show on the road. Got quite a few things to do today. Jeez, had to stretch. So yeah, I was briefly watching Medea's Witness Protection, and I did not know Robert De Niro was in that shit. So it was just really funny seeing fucking Robert De Niro pop up in a Medea movie. Oh, bro, I talked about this when this news dropped, but Spider-Man, bro, like the re-release, I was having trouble finding Spider-Man tickets, but I fucking found some, bro. I found some, and then it rerouted me to Fandango, which that's where I was originally looking, and I even looked online, and they fucking weren't there when I looked on Fandango for the first time. But my shorty, she found them, bro. She found them on a random article and a fucking link that, like, yeah, like, rerouted me back to Fandango. But also, they're only fucking $5 too, which is interesting. I thought they were just gonna be at least like full price. At least, like, not like, because I think, like, what new movies are like four, at least in my area, like 14, and like, I don't know, but yeah, they were just a lot cheaper than I thought. I talked about Fallout already. We got a couple new artists, but before I get into that, though, let me stretch real quick. Oh, Jesus. All right, before I get into that, though, J100, artist out of Detroit. I'm pretty sure he's with the Shitty Boys, Babytron, Stan Will, and TRD. I think he's with them, but he's honestly, out of no cap though, I think he's the best, like, lyricist out of. I fuck with, like, most of the extended Shitty Boys and shit, but I feel like he's up there, like, damn near beating Tron type shit, and probably is beating Tron. They're not fucking crazy. I don't want to, like, diminish their talents and shit, but I was gonna say, like, they don't, like, specialize in, like, lyricism and shit. It's like, this is still some, trap, or not even trap, but some Detroit music type shit. So, but anyways, he released a EP called Nevermind, I'll Do It, and I fucked with it tough. He has, like, this Sub-Zero Lin Kuei bar that I fuck with. He has a Danny Phantom bar that I fuck with. He said, like, live a double life like Danny Phantom, at nighttime go ghost, or some shit like that. And let me go to my Spotify right now, actually, because I'll say the tracks that I did take from it. I want to check out the whole thing again, because it's not that long. Let me make sure my volume's down. Let me see, where's that? I only grabbed 2 songs from it, but like I said, it's not that long. It's only 5 songs long, so it's like, that's not a crazy non-strike rate. Or a playlist strike rate, but I picked up Constellations and Kaleidoscope. Constellations is my favorite because I don't know, he just, not even just, like, to use big words smartly type shit, but he, like, does it in a way that, like, I don't know, sounds good. It doesn't, and it's not coming across like he's just using it to use it type shit, That was kind of hard to explain, but I really fuck with that in Kaleidoscope. So I've been bumping those. But onto the new artist though. The new artist that I found is a guy named Ian. This is white boy. But he's like, people call him like a Yeet clone, but I feel like he's a kind of he. I do hear the inspiration from Yeet and shit, but he's like more reserved. Like Yeet kind of has like a lot of frantic like ad libs and shit and whatnot. And I would say like Yeat's songs and this guy's like still starting out his shit. I don't know if he's like, I don't know, backed, if he has like rich parents or whatnot. But I don't know. I fuck with his sound and shit. And I mean, I fuck with him tough, to be honest, because he has this song like that was going around Grand Slam. That's pretty viral. It's probably, if you heard anything from him, that's probably what you heard. But I fuck with that. But I really been fucking with, he just has like, I like what he's saying on top of like his sound and shit. It was more some like simp shit a little bit. He's talking about a shorty and whatnot, but then he's talking about like making it and making people proud, his family proud and shit. And I like what he was saying. But the tracks that I like fucked with super super tough are Too Early. Figure It Out. He has a Marshawn Lynch bar and Figure It Out that I fuck with tough. A Shame, Uphill. Let's see. Wimbledon. Did I say Too Early? I mean, well, those are the ones I fuck with tough. So it's like if you want to go check out any of those songs, I would check out those. But out of all the songs I got, like I was going through his discography, and I got out of the ones I got Reminders, Silently, Rhode Island, Too Early, like I said, Through and Through, Uphill, A Shame, Bye Honey, Figure It Out, Wimbledon, and Grand Slam. So I got to still go through his discography, but I was really fucking with it though. But then also, I got on this artist named Beretta. I think he's from New York. He has like the kind of like standard New York sound, which like New York drill rapper sound, which I don't really like per se. I mean, like what you like. It's just not my cup of tea type shit. But I mean, it's like I don't dislike it like oh my god, turn this shit off. But like I don't know. I mean, it kind of just sounds samey to me a little bit. But I like I like it here and there, I guess, is a better way to put it. But he reminds me, so he dips into that standard New York drill bag, and that's kind of when I don't like his music as much. But I do like what he's saying, like what he's a more like goofy and outlandish with it. It kind of reminds me of fucking I was gonna say Loader Squad, but fucking what is Odd Future? Jesus, I don't know why I was blanking on the name. Odd Future a little bit, specifically Taco, and just he reminds me of Taco on Tina, and so I've been fucking with him a lot. And so when he dips into like kind of his more of his own like flow bag and not like the standard New York Jill rapper bag, I fuck with him more on that tip type shit. But when he's on his New York drill bag, it's not bad either. He has this song called Bent that I really fuck with. That's more on New York type bag. But I want to use his song Not Comp for one of my Helldivers video. I feel like I can make some real some fun with that. But the songs I got from him though are Man Made. If I were to suggest anything, I'd probably suggest Man Made and Trendy. I think out of like the artists, like I've been listening to Ian shit a lot, like fucking just on repeat. I've been fucking with it. I was just checking this shit out, just listening to it, just talk about it on here and shit. And I was just like smoking this shit, and I was just vibing something crazy to it, bro. No cap. But from Beretta, I got Man Made, N64. He has like this N64 theme song. He's like just talking about fucking Nintendo characters and shit. It's pretty good. Make This Up, Not Comp, Trendy, Doji Forever, or no, Doji Fever, my fault. Money Talk, Bent, and that's it. I gotta keep going through his shit, but I don't think I'm gonna like his older shit as much. But I'm gonna keep going through it though. Might find some hidden gems, and then also the guess last artist real quick that I just was found just in between these guys, the act, Keeping It Playa. It's a vibey song. It's not nothing, and I wouldn't say like any of these guys are like fucking like you're not gonna get no crazy lyrical shit if that's what you're into with any of them. I feel like I mean they're definitely talented, but it's not purely vibes. I don't want to say that, but it's a little bit of that type shit. But it's not no. But I like what they're saying though. It's like their standard, the drill subject matter, like you gotta pop a nigga top and some more shit. But like, I fuck with like the little in-betweens in that. It's like, that stuff is, I guess, fun to hear and shit. But he's like, Ian's talking about, trying to make his family proud. He's making it, talking about like, blowing up, losing his head and shit, and stuff like that. And Beretta's more like on the more memey side, I guess. He has that's what, bro. He made this song, bro, to the instrumental to one of my fucking favorite, one of my favorite like recent meme site shit is when the fucking the white guys dance to the African music. It's like, bro, that shit has me weak every time I be watching that shit, bro. No cap, bro. That's like, there's these memes, bro, that I just like get hooked to. It was fuck, if I explain it, so you're probably not gonna, I don't want to get into it, but this is one of those memes, and he made like a song to like that the song that they use that the white boys be dancing to, bro, and that shit is hilarious, bro. The song's like pretty decent, but like the videos and shit, bro, even like like thinking about those shits, bro, just be making me laugh, bro. I'm probably gonna have to watch some after this, after I wrap this up. But yeah, that's it for the weekly watch list. Let's move on to Pondering My Orb so we can wrap this shit up, bro. We've been yapping for 216 straight. But yeah, I think I had been on real quick. On this section though, I like to just reflect on, get ready, get the right mindset for the upcoming week and another week to do better and shit. And then in my reflection, that hopefully that like makes you think about what you got to do better, what you want to work on, or just you just maybe grab a piece of a gem or to apply to your life or whatever. Because we do talk about a lot of entertainment and shit on this stuff, and so about shit that doesn't really matter in the real world. So at the very least, want to give I cannot say this, some substance to the people you like, stick around and whatnot. I think I just accidentally turned it up. All right, whatever. But yeah, this week though, I just been dealing with a lot, like moving and shit, and trying to get a new car and whatnot, and just a lot on my plate. And something that popped in my head though when I was like in the shower or some shit. It was, I think, in Spider-Man 2 when Aunt May was like, "You do too much. You're not Superman, Was that a Aunt May voice? I'll hear it in the playback, bro. So I'll see. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. That just kind of like stuck with me. I don't know. I just love when quotes from, I just movies in general, but I guess superhero stuff specifically just ring in my head. Like, that is just like, I think for me, it's just, I try to do too much at once, and I'm just like not satisfied if I don't get what I set out to be done. So I just feel like I should taper back my expectations for myself just a little bit. Not like saying not to have any expectations, but like just for instance, like editing wise, like if I, I'll just try to put too much on my plate for that day. I just need to break it up a little bit more and not try to take so much on at once. And that goes beyond editing too, with people asking you to do things and whatnot, and stuff, and it's just more, yeah. So it's like, yeah, that you do too much. You're not Superman, yeah, I really like when she said that. And then also, I think that was stuck in my head too, is I think Soulja Boy used that as like what would it be called? A tag or ad lib or something, or I don't know. I think that was used in a song. I think it was a Soulja Boy song though from a minute ago. Not gonna lie, but what also pops in my head though, like lines though of real quick though before you wrap this up. Actually, I'll leave you guys in a cliffhanger on that one. It'll probably come up again. So yeah, if you're new here, follow me. If you're new here, actually, you're listening to this on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe, bro. Just strap in for the ride. Episodes drop weekly. I try to make some funny clips out of the audio, sound bites I get from this. I didn't have any last week, but try to do that. So that's on the YouTube channel as well. So drop a like, subscribe. If you're listening to this on anything else like Spotify, I don't think it's on Apple Podcast yet, but Google Podcasts, whatever the case, if they have a rating system, rate your boy 5 stars or how many maximum stars there is. I mean, you ain't gotta do 5, but hey, I would appreciate the 5er, but yeah, if you can, leave a review. Yeah, and then also follow the Twitter for this account. The link will be in description. I'll be like trying to ask questions like, oh, did you guys see Civil War? What'd you think about it? Read some reviews on here, little stuff like that. If it's a topic week and there's nothing to review, and I have like some topics that I have like in the vault, the best fucking some simple shit, and there's the other ones, but this is quick examples. Best fucking superhero vehicle or whatnot, like Silver Surfer's board, or the Spider Jeep or whatever, or like the best fucking superhero or best comic book weapon, best like comic book vehicle, stuff like that. If it's like a topic week, maybe put up a poll on Twitter or something, have you guys vote. Yeah, give that a follow. And yeah, I think that's pretty much. Oh, follow my main subscribe to my main YouTube channel. Got some stuff cooking up there, and that's like more edited videos, really highly edited stuff. And I'm trying to, once I get like some stuff situated out and get a new camera, want to get back on the gameplay stuff. I put a pause on that because I wanted to get a camera. I feel like it would hit a lot more with the camera. So yeah, just put a pause on that. But I think that's it for this week. Kind of a longer episode. We're at 2:30, so probably be a little less than that. But yeah, I mean, we just did a lot of yapping, a lot of yap about, to be honest. A lot of big yeah, you fucking listen to the episode. So yeah, that's it for this week. Oh, next week, so there was 2 movies coming out. I thought we had a bye week, but next week I'll be seeing Spider-Man, so I'll probably be talking about that. I mean, it's fucking I've seen it before, but I've never seen it in theaters though, so that would be really cool. So I'll probably be touch on that a little bit. But next week, the review for next week will be so the Ministry of Unpleasant Gentlemanry, or I don't know, some fucking shit about gentleman warfare, or in the first special ops forces. With like, it had a really good cast, like Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, some other people too, but this is blanking. That's off on the top of my head, but that was coming out, and then also Sasquatch Sunset. Let me find the name on this because this is probably the one I'm gonna end up seeing. I'm gonna end up seeing both of them, but I don't really want to do a double feature next week. So Sasquatch Sunset. So this is about like a Sasquatch family just getting up as shenanigans, and fucking Jesse Eisenberg is one of the fucking Sasquatches, and they're just in Sasquatch like makeup and shit. So it just seems like a very interesting, funny time, and kind of want a palate cleanser. And I don't think the Gentleman Warfare, that's like an action comedy, so it's definitely gonna be more comedic moments. But I kind of just need a goofy palate cleanser after Civil War. Not even saying it was like super heavy or anything, but fuck, bro, that might happen to us. So yeah, I just want to get some goofy shit. So it's gonna be Sunset Sasquatch next week if you want to go out, or Sasquatch Sunset. Yeah, I said that. If you want to go out and see that. But yeah, that'll be the movie I'm reviewing next week, and the week after might be I'll talk about next week. I don't want to end this hoe. So yeah, that's it for this week. Good episode, I think. I had a good time recording. But yeah, that's it for this week. See you next week. Twos.